Alrighty, people, welcome in. That actually hurt my throat. Got a sore
Yeah, you
throat.
should have done that, and then you say your throat's hurting, and he's going, all right, people. He doesn't go on live stream because his throat hurts, and now what's all this?
It's autoimmune disease, brother. Welcome to the life. What's up, guys?
Excuses.
Welcome in. I appreciate y'all for being here with us on today's stream. Do us a favor, hit that like button as the stream begins. We love our Dynasty Land community, even though a lot of our attention is going towards the redraft channel at this point. Let us know who we are hanging out with. I see Lou Thomas. It's a bad day to be a Dynasty mock. What's up, Joel Scribbles in the building? Joel says,
how
it's
we
a beautiful
feeling,
day to get overhyped about training camp. And
oh my gosh, did you see that catch today? Did you see it?
I don't even know which one you're talking about.
I'm play along here. Did you see that throw from Cam Ward to Calvin Ridley in practice today?
Yeah.
we saw that. Yeah, we saw it.
We appreciate you guys for being here with us. Hey, there's a couple announcements I think that are very important before we start today's mock draft. Things
100%.
that we've been talking about for quite some time. The first thing is the meetup. All right. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Badaki, if I understand this correctly, there's no need to buy a ticket or to RSVP. You can just rock up.
No,
right?
You just rock up. We'll be there. We'll say hello to you. Obviously drinks. You get to mingle with every single one of us in the flock league. You get to meet us. You get to hang out for.
You get to see Sal's eyebrows.
4 hours.
That should be enough.
So yeah, we're really pumped. We would love to have as many people from our community there. Obviously, there's no pressure. If you can't make it, that's totally fine. We completely understand.
Yep.
But we would love to put names or faces to the names. We would love to meet the Thomases, the Joels, the Scribbles, the chefs of the world, because we appreciate each and every one of you. But once again, no pressure. You get to interact with each and every one of us.
Sunday, August 17th at Revelry Kitchen and Bar, and the address is there. So come meet up with us. How many people were there last year?
It was
100?
like 60-ish.
Okay, 60?
Yeah, it was 60 to 70. It felt way more than that, I'll tell you that. Maybe because the space was so small.
So we would love to meet up with you guys. And the other thing that's pretty important, I would say, is you have a chance to be in the Flock League. That's not a joke. That's for realsies. You have a chance to be in the Flock League this year. If you don't know what the Flock League is, that is the league where all of your favorite content creators are fighting against each other for fantasy championships. All right. And I would love to have some people from the land community submit if you guys want to be a part of it. Mason breaks it down here in the announcements tab on the Discord for the main announcements of the Discord. But basically, you need to record a video explaining why you deserve to be in the league and email it to mason.at.flockfantasy.com or DM it to him on Discord. And he's going to cover your flights, your stay, your food, your drink. Everything's going to be covered. But
you'll be part of the crew.
You'll be a part of the crew. You'll be a part of the YouTube channel for, I don't know if it's this year and it changes I don't know, but it would be a cool opportunity. So definitely would love to get as many of you guys involved as possible. And the other thing that we need to tell you guys is our draft guide is coming out very soon for the 2025 season. All right. That draft guide includes so many different aspects like rankings, sleepers, you've been designing it. What all have we put in there? I mean, historical hit rates, if I'm not mistaken. There's so many different aspects. What am I missing?
Yeah, so obviously this first version here has sleepers, values, vacancy targets. There has Zach's rankings as well, a cheat sheet in there, and so much more that is going to be added on as we get closer and closer to the season here. So some exclusive content that you're going to be seeing potentially early today with.
That's right. We are doing a giveaway today.
Going to be making.
We're doing a giveaway today, and we're giving early access to our draft guide. If you want to be the first person on earth to see our draft guide before anyone else outside of me and Badaki, then all you got to do is enter today's giveaway for today's stream by typing LAND into the YouTube chat, LAND, and liking the stream. Those are the two simple ways that you can enter today's giveaway. Again, to get early access to our draft guide, which no one has seen in the industry outside of Badaki and myself. So again, if you want to enter that giveaway, type LAND into the YouTube chat, LAND, and like the stream. And then, of course, if you don't know, we are popping off content over on the Redraft channel. But let's get to a mock draft, shall we? We're doing a Dynasty startup mock draft today. And how can people join this mock draft? Let's say if they want to hang out.
Yeah. You can join that link in the description, or that link is also in the Discord, or in the chat. Join our Discord, excuse me. Join our Discord. That link is in the chat. That link is also in the description. Go to the LAN tab with the orange footballs, then go to mock draft. That's how you can join each and every mock draft, whether you're watching now or in the future, especially in redraft as we get closer and closer to the redraft season. I am going to claim a spots really fast, and I am going to send that link out here for you guys. 3, 2, 1. There goes that link.
All right.
There you go.
So it is first come, first serve. And just so we're all on the same page here, this is a super flex. All right. I think we're doing start 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Start 9, super flex. We'll do like a 0.5 tight end premium as well. And yeah, we are completely full. So let's go ahead and get this thing started off here. At the end of today's stream, we have quite a few team playbooks to get through. You definitely still have a chance to submit your team playbooks for today, should you choose to get one done. But we will be doing some team playbooks as well later on. But let's go ahead and get this draft started here with J-Mac at the 101.
All right. How do you feel about, which is probably not that big of a deal for you, how do you feel about Von Miller joining the Washington Commanders?
Yeah, it's nice as Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels come off the board. Yeah, I mean, it's you know, he's not an expensive contract. It's a low risk move. If he's got something left in the tank, even if he's just playing on third downs or something, I think it would be a great addition to our team. And to be fair, you know, everyone made fun of Adam Peters last year for his offseason. I don't know if you remember this, when he brought in Bobby Wagner, Austin Eckler. He brought in all these players that people say, oh, these guys are all washed. What the hell is Adam Peters doing, right? And to be fair, we will turn on third round reversal here, sorry. To be fair, Washington as a team outperformed everyone's expectations. So I feel like we're kind of the Clippers of the NFL at this point with the amount of veterans we have. Obviously, we have Jaden Daniels. That's different. But, yeah, if he can give us, 5 sacks on the year, if he can make an impact on third downs alone, and we only play him on third downs, I think it's a smart move to bring him in. Low risk, literally no risk move, actually, to bring in a veteran like that. So I'm pretty happy to have him. I know we have a major need at edge rusher right now, so happy to have him on the team. I'm going to draft CeeDee Lamb here at the 110 and kind of start my draft with a wide receiver. But, yeah, not expecting him to be the same player, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I think, funny enough, I was going to say some good veteran leadership, but you could just have a lot of those veterans already, so there's really no point of bringing the leadership aspect of it. Just someone that's been in that position, that has been in those, I guess, how can I say it? Those crunch time moments that you can help for your team. So I can definitely understand.
Well, I think last year this team, like all the veterans on this team that they brought in, I think they all kind of had like this mindset of like, all right, we'll prove you wrong. All right, you want to make fun of us? So I almost feel like I love it for him specifically because I feel like he's in the perfect environment here. I'll take Ashton Genty at the 203 to say like, all right, yeah, you want to talk shit? All right, like watch me go do my thing. Like I feel like that's just kind of like the locker room's mentality right now with how many veterans are there. Yeah. But I mean, who knows? Might be the Redskins soon. Hard to say.
POTUS said it himself. POTUS said change it back. So I mean, you got to listen to the president, right? That's what's happening in America. You got to listen to.
I think at this point, I'm happy with whatever happens. Like I think the name, I don't know if you remember, like when the rebrand happened, I said the name Commanders isn't terrible. It's just the branding was awful.
Good.
The
I love the football team. I wanted the football team to stay. I thought that was sick.
So at this point, I don't mind either name. I just hated the branding, and it's clearly when they brought back like the the Super Bowl era jerseys. I think they are trying to get us more in that direction of branding, which is nice. As you start Burrow and Bo Nix there. All right, guys, we see you in the chat. What's up, Scribbles? Seabros here. Frosty Canadians here. Angelic Jeb is in the building. Jeb, we're going to look at your Dynasty team tonight. We've got, Prince Dre in the building. These guys are entering a giveaway for today, by the way. If you guys don't know, we're giving away early access to our draft guide. No one in the world has seen it outside of Badaki and myself for the 2025 season. If you want to enter today's giveaway, type LAND into the chat, LAND, and like the stream. That's as simple as it can get. We got a like goal today of 50 likes. With your help, I think we can get there. Be a friend. Smash that like button. And let's try and catch up with the chat. Joel says Washington loves to collect senior citizens. Yes, we do. What's up, Angelic? He says, in a startup, 2 tight ends, 1 tight end premium, super flex, but running backs get 0.1 points per carry. My God, you're scoring. Whoever's the commissioner this said, how can I be as different as possible? Would you take Jason, Jacobs, Judkins, or Chase Brown at the 403? Jason, pretty easily would be my answer there.
Yeah, go with the highest ranked wide receiver there.
Yep.
It'll probably be Jason, and then probably Chase Brown, then Judkins and Jacobs. But obviously, that's with the contingencies of what's going to happen with Quinshon Judkins there.
Yeah, I would still have Judkins personally second in that list, just betting on him in Dynasty. But I definitely understand where Badaki's coming from. I think the vast majority would agree with you at this point to take Chase Brown.
Chase Brown downtown.
So
Shout out to Chase Brown downtown, huh? My boy.
He's
just early.
Having an incredible start of his career. Okay, so after Bo Nix came off the board, we had Caleb Williams, Drake London, Saquon Barkley, Ladd McConkey, and I'm going to struggle not taking Drake May. We're going to take Drake May here at the 303 as our first quarterback.
Not bad. Not bad whatsoever.
What's up, Ed? Welcome in. We've got Mike in the building. What's up, Mike? Welcome in. Gavin's here. Cade's here.
Let's make Mike a whatchamacallit.
Yes. Have you guys seen the new Superman? If so, did you like it? Yeah, I honestly, I'll say this. I am not a fan of DC movies. DC content in general, I don't typically fall in love with. I wouldn't consider. Let me know if I'm an idiot for this, but I wouldn't consider the Dark Knight, Christian Bale, that type of Batman DC. That doesn't feel DC to me. That feels like its own enterprise.
Sure, it doesn't. I get what you're saying, but I guess it's still in the same universe.
Yeah.
But I understand.
So I wouldn't consider that DC, and with that in mind, I can't think of a DC movie that I saw where I was like, yeah, this was great. And I loved Superman. I thought it was awesome.
I liked it as well.
I do understand. I did have the thought, and I don't want to spoil too much for people who haven't seen it, but I do think that.
Oh my gosh!
Was that who you wanted there?
No.
Okay.
That's okay.
Sorry, I was going to say, I do think I understand where people are coming from, that they're upset that he got beat up so much. I did find that strange. I'm not going to lie. That was part of the movie where I was like, why is Superman the strongest being on Earth, just getting, dog walked in every fight he's in? But I loved the storytelling. I loved the cast. I loved the way they implemented everything, so I was a big fan of it.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I think it makes sense without trying to ruin the movie. If you guys haven't seen it, it makes sense why he was getting beat up, because at the end you find out what Luthor ended up doing. So it was like, all right, that makes sense, but no one else could potentially live up to that standard because he was because of who he was fighting, right? But I understand.
But yeah, Buster's here, in case y'all were wondering. Buster's in the building. Okay, so in the third round, some strange starts maybe. I'm not going to say it's strange, but we've got Thomas going 3 quarterbacks here to start. Interesting
that's
way
all I
to
want to know
build a
on the
team. I don't
rest.
know. I don't know what to say about that one.
Yeah, I want Richie Rich to, even with the suspension, I would have taken him, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
We have T. Higgins, Bucky, T. Mac, and Hunter off the board back to back. Brock Purdy, undervalued pick there. A.J. Brown, Rice, and Adunze. It was funny because people by now, if you watch my content, you know I like Rashee Rice a lot, and I was telling you guys to buy him. It was hilarious because the day he got, the day they figured everything out in the courts, there was a comment from someone who's like, you were wrong on Rashee Rice. And I was like, what? Did you not expect him to get suspended? I don't understand how. Okay, all right. Like, I was just so dumbfounded. Like, even the people
I
who
think people
hate
miss.
Rashee Rice didn't expect him to get suspended. Like, we were all on the same page. He was going to get suspended. Like, what are we talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I think a lot of people are in their own world and trying to figure out what it is. I think we've always mentioned and said that he was going to get suspended. We just didn't know when that was, whether that was in this season or if it was going to be next season.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, we knew that, but that's totally okay.
Yes. All right. So in the fourth round, A.J. Brown, Rashee Rice, Rome Odunze. You went Henderson there at the 405. Jordan Love falls to the 406. Some of these values at quarterback are nice. Kyler Murray. Imagine not starting your draft with a quarterback for 3 rounds, and then in the fourth round you land Kyler Murray. That feels nice. It feels like you're not really paying the piper like as you might need to in some other leagues. So I like that start there. Let's see what Joe does here. A tight end and Bowers, and then 2 tight ends, and he goes Kyron. He says, I don't need quarterbacks. I'm a little more concerned. I'm looking at this end of the board here. Again, trying to read the board. Team 11 and 12 do not have quarterbacks right now. So I'm going to take my quarterback of choice here, which would be J.J. McCarthy at the 410. And let's see what happens with these next couple picks. As Baker Mayfield comes off the board there. Troy says, I should have joined. Thomas taking all the quarterbacks. Stroud in the third is ridiculous value. I don't know. I was actually asking myself, okay, is Stroud clearly more valuable than the other names that went by? I don't think so. I actually don't know if you could trade Stroud for a Wilson or an Achane right now in a lot of leagues. I don't know if you can trade Stroud for some of these names. So
yeah, look, you probably can't, but
I don't know. I don't know if I 100% agree.
Stroud is definitely a player that I believe could have a massive bounce back, and that value can resurface again, because you got to remember last year or his first year, it was kind of like this past year he didn't have Tank Dell. Nico Collins missed a great deal. His offensive line was in basically turmoil. So I'm believing in the bounce back here for CJ Stroud to kind of bring his value back up here. Now you're on the clock. What are you thinking?
I'm going to grab Emeka Egbuka here. I'll grab Egbuka here in the 5th round as my wide receiver 2. Wanted McCarthy. I thought maybe I could push it to the 5th round, but I know those guys on the edge needed quarterbacks, so didn't want to push it too far to the point of no return. But yeah, I think Stroud is a great real-life quarterback and not a great fantasy quarterback, but that could change. He's just one of those guys he's going to need those 40 passing touchdown seasons to be really great for fantasy. That's what he's going to need, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Triple's loving your start of your draft there.
Yeah, appreciate you.
He also
definitely
says,
not the route I wanted to go, but that's okay.
He also says, hot take, but with a 3rd round reversal, picking in the top 6 blows. Well, you're still going to get a Jackson, Daniels, Chase, Allen, in a lot of those scenarios. But I can understand where you're coming from.
What to do here?
What are you thinking here? You've started your draft, 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs.
I mean, my best available wide receiver right now is Devonta. I kind of want to play. Let me see. Yeah, I'm going to take Devonta Smith there.
Nice. All right.
Could have gone a different route. Yeah, I
I
was
just want to
thinking
let people
Quinshon.
know
That's what I was going.
I am not eating candy. Someone commented on the stream when I've had a cough drop in before saying, can this guy stop eating candy? It's not candy. I apologize in advance. I'm working through this sickness. And again, it's not candy. It's just a cough drop. So I'm sorry if you hear anything like that. Troy says they are equal value now. HN can't really go up in value at all. Stroud could be a first round startup pick next year with a good season. What if Stroud has the same season, though?
But what if Stroud has?
Because I think Stroud could fall further.
But he can also.
You can make the case either way, I think. I honestly think either could fall, depending on how the season goes. And I mean, if HN comes out there as a top 5 season, I think he can rise in value.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends. I would say people next year would, if HN does finish top 5, Saquon's a year older. I think you can probably see HN going ahead of Saquon because of age, but I don't think anyone's gonna be taking HN ahead of obviously the Bijan, the Gibbs, the Genties. So
yeah,
I think there is an opportunity, but I think it depends on what that looks like, and also depends on how these rookies perform, specifically Omarion Hampton, right? So
Frosty says, I wish I could keep listening, but gotta hop on the ice for a couple hours. Catch y'all later this week, hopefully.
Hey, all love, brother.
He's probably actually on the ice, by the way.
It's Frosty Canadian.
He's probably genuinely on ice. When he's like, it's probably for realsies ice. Maybe playing hockey. I don't know.
Maybe playing hockey.
Appreciate you, Prince. Mike says the 107 is by far the best spot on the board. As Kittle goes off the board there at the 604. A name that we've been tracking a lot here. Quinshon Judkins was the pick there at the 509. I thought about taking him over Egbuka. It was purely a build, like a team construction thing for me. I've already kind of committed to anchoring my running back room around Genty. Had I not gone, let's say I started like a Monra, I probably would have gone Judkins there at the 503. So I like that value there for Joel a lot. As Olave is your second wide receiver there at the 605.
Yeah, I think I would have felt better taking Quinshon there over Devonta Smith, but that's okay. I'm not in love with the wide receivers. This is kind of why I was hoping to get T or Rashid. That would have made me feel a little bit better, which means I could have gotten Quinshon. I could have had HN, T, or Rice. Or excuse me, I could have had T or Rice at the 3-8, Henderson, and then gotten potentially Quinshon at the 5-8. But either way, it's okay. Going with the younger wide receivers here. Not really younger, but with Devon.
Let's talk about James Cook. He just went off the board at the 602. And, you know, I have a little bit of a qualm with ADP right now on James Cook. Can I tell you why?
Come on, talk him up. I'm listening.
I'm a little bit confused about the James Cook hate in the community.
Welcome to the dark side, brother. Come on.
I haven't really seen many people say positive things about him, as I'll take Xavier Worthy here at the 610. I like that a lot. And I'm confused. I'm really confused. I don't think I've seen anyone, you know, I don't watch a ton of fantasy content, granted, but I'm on Twitter and stuff. I don't see anyone talking positively about James Cook for fantasy. No one's talking
I think a lot of people...
It's very common to, like, you know, talk down on him, talk down on what he accomplished last year, and just say, you know what, he's going to regress. That's the end of it. There's no point talking about this further. He's a bad pick. That feels like the end of the conversation right now. Am I misreading that, or do you feel the same way right now?
No, that's been the case. There's no reason. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, yards per carry was over 5. He's been pretty efficient when he does get the ball. Now, does he get the ball all the time? Absolutely not. Does he get opportunity in the air? Yes, he does. He scored 16 touchdowns. Is that something that he can replicate again? No, but what happens if he gets an extra 20 passes? What happens if he gets an extra 20 carries?
Yeah.
What does that look like? Now, it probably won't be replicated to that. but I think at the value, I think is really good. He's still really young. He's about to a running back going that potentially is going to be going to his second contract. I think we both believe it'll probably get sorted here, hopefully soon.
Well, one
So
side's going
I've
to
always
bend.
been
Like James
yeah,
Cook will, in my opinion, James Cook will be playing for the Bills week 1. One side's
me
going to
too.
bend. I just don't know which side. But let me just kind of dive into why I'm kind of annoyed about the narrative right now about James Cook.
Sure.
And this is more like, again, specifically thinking about like redraft formats, okay? But James Cook last year, okay, so he has a career high in fantasy points per game at 16.7. Yes, we all know he had 18 touchdowns. Yes, clearly he's a regression candidate. No one in their right mind is arguing that he isn't a regression candidate. And no matter how many times I say this in my content, someone always comments, well, he's going to regress in his touchdowns. I know. We're all on the same page, okay? But we're talking about a guy that last year people drafted 29th overall in redraft, Badaki. The 29th overall pick in ADP in 2024. So he breaks out, has almost 17 points per game. I know there's a high amount of touchdowns. I know there's a lot of split work. But where do you think his ADP lies this year? Maybe you saw my tweet already. If you have, just play into kind of my narrative here. Okay, so you haven't.
I have no idea.
So if his ADP last year was 29 and he broke out this year, where do you think his ADP is this year in
I would guess.
drafts?
I would guess it's lower. I would guess it's a whole round lower. I would just say 39.
Okay, so his ADP this year is 44.
Oh shit, that's way more than
He has fallen 15 spots in overall ADP, despite having career highs in points per game and touchdowns. I don't get it. Like last year you were betting on this guy as a 29th overall player, and his career high was 13.7 points per game. It's not like he had a insane, amount of like work either. He was still splitting a backfield. Obviously looked different this year.
I'm there with you, brother.
How many times does a running back break out and then he falls 15 spots in ADP? I just don't understand it. And again, please stop talking about regressing and touchdowns. We all know he's going to regress in touchdowns. The hate's gone too far. He could have 8 less touchdowns this year, and he would still be a value at pick 45, 44 in drafts this year. It's insane how far the pendulum has swung, in my opinion.
They hate Jimmy. They never let James cook. But hey, I also think a big factor there, a big asterisk, not only to the regression. I say you can take all those things that you just mentioned out. There's 2 main things. It's regression and Josh Allen. Because they believe Josh Allen.
They already had Josh Allen on the team last year.
Yeah, but I think that's another reason. With Josh Allen, he's the goal line guy. He does he does that.
Bills are like top 5 in implied team point total per game. And it's like this offense is going to be great. And he's already shown that he can score touchdowns. Sure, he might regress. We're all on the same page. I just don't get it. I'm gonna grab Tua.
I think that's yeah.
We'll grab Tua here at the 8-10. I think that's pretty crazy value, I'd say, to get Tua that late. But go ahead. Sorry.
I would just say, just to wrap up what you were saying, like if I told you James Cook is going to regress, and let's just say he has 10 touchdowns, getting him at this ADP at 44 is still not bad.
Exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm trying to say.
I don't understand why it's like, he's okay, sure. We side with you. He's going to regress.
Yes,
he's not going to see 16 touchdowns.
Keep saying
18
that.
touchdowns. Yeah, but I'm trying to bring in.
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to agree with the case that you're bringing right now. I'll go down to 9-3.
So it is very interesting, but each to their own,
Yeah.
Jimmy is going to be somebody. I need to do my homework for the Flock League because I need to. Not that I need to do my homework in the sense of I need to go watch everyone's content. I need to go rewatch the Flock League episode again and just get a feel for like what people were thinking last year.
I don't think people are going to draft the same way because
absolutely not.
Mason went full best ball, bro, and I don't think he's gonna do that again.
No. And we know, like, if Danny loves a guy, whatever that looks like, he's gonna grab him no matter what because he believes in him. Like, that's how he would reach for him 3-4 rounds, and we're like, whoa. So, it is very interesting. Are there no rookie? No, there isn't. I'm gonna go Tyrone. I guess another thing we could potentially talk about is Noah Fant. No longer with the Seattle Seahawks. That really brings up Elijah Arroyo and his potential outcome. Obviously, AJ Barner is first in line there, but before he had to go through Noah and AJ.
Yeah.
But now we could potentially be seeing him on the field sooner rather than later.
Well, to all of my people out there who were following the channel, y'all already know about Elijah Arroyo in enough detail that you probably know too much about Elijah Arroyo because he was an official My Guy this year. If you go back to the draft guide, Elijah Arroyo was one of my favorite players at the tight end spot. I didn't feel like he was getting enough love. I had a second round grade on him. I had his ceiling as like a Zach Ertz in Njoku, his floor as like a Johnny Smith before 2024.
Just realized.
Yeah, Dolphins.
I have Dolphins.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
But I'm a huge fan of his. I am a huge fan of his, especially like as an offensive weapon. I feel like you draft this guy, and we talked about this a lot during the draft season, my tight end 3 before and after the draft. You draft him because you want him to be an integral part of your passing attack. You're not drafting Elijah Arroyo because you're super hyped about what he does for your run blocking. I'm not saying he's a bad run blocker, but you're drafting him because like you're thrilled, to scheme up ways to get him involved. So we love us some Elijah Arroyo on this channel. And when the draft pick was made, you and I said, look, I know the tight end room looks rough, but think about it a little bit differently. Who on that team can play outside? Jason's not a traditional outside player. Cooper Kupp at this point of his career, I don't know that he's going to succeed that much outside. We were kind of saying like, could Elijah Arroyo be really important to this team as an outside receiver earlier than people realize? With his size, with his frame, with his route running ability, I think you'll be shocked to see the way they utilize him this year. So I recognize that AJ Barner is still there, and we can't ignore him. But if you are like me and you have a good amount of Elijah Arroyo on your teams, I mean, you probably feel good right now.
Yeah, I think my only concern with someone like an Elijah Arroyo is when I look back at this offense and how they utilize the tight end, and it was non-existent.
Yeah,
I think that is probably my biggest
offense
concern.
Entirely, though. Don't forget that it's not the same offensive
I
coordinator.
completely agree.
Different staff entirely.
Yeah, and I understand that. I think it's Clint Kubiak that's there now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be interesting. I don't know like his history of usage with tight ends. At least I can't remember off the top of my head.
What's up, 50 Cali says, how many playbooks y'all got tonight? We got enough room for you if you want to submit one. We will be doing that after today's mock draft. If anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, you can get your team playbook, which is pretty much like a customized game plan for your team. Badaki and I will kind of whip up a game plan for you. You can get that by becoming a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member, or you can buy one through the Flock store a la carte if you're on a different promo code. Just make sure you choose Zach and Badaki either way, and you move up on that tier. I'll say, honestly, like today, right now, because the demand isn't as high, we're not going to require you to submit a live playbook for today's stream. So yeah, if you want to get in and have it on the live stream, any version of the playbook that you buy from us, team review that you buy from us, we will honor as a live playbook for today. As I'm not, I'll draft Njoku here in the 11th round. All right, trying to catch up with the chat. What's up, Sidekick? He says, Big Dog, it's been a while since I've been here, man. We're ready for football. We're glad to have you here.
Love, man. Hope all is well.
Trying to catch up with the chat. WG says, is Anthony Richardson officially a dead asset? I think he's undervalued at this point. It's the assumption right now that Daniel Jones is going to win the job. But the report, when it came out multiple months ago, was that he was going to be available for camp. So I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that it is Daniel Jones. Like, sure, you might say the high likelihood is Daniel Jones is going to be their starter. But Anthony Richardson is not out of it yet. And I do think he's like a very cheap add-on. If you're doing like a Dynasty trade right now, you can easily throw Anthony Richardson in to kind of get the deal done. If there's a big deal that you have in play and you chuck someone a third-round pick and you add A-Rich, I feel like they're going to have an opportunity. That's going to have an opportunity to pay off for you. And
yeah, I think. Go ahead, and I'll give my.
No, I was just going to say.
process.
I mean, this is coming from someone who was very anti Anthony Richardson last year, who was a second or first round pick in startups. The tide has changed, and of course, there's risk. No one's telling you there's not risk. But are you really going to keep that pick that's worthless to you, or throw it in a trade and add him to your team and as a what if?
Yeah, I think the what if is like. The what if is pretty significant, I think. I think it's a what if bold letters type vibe. And that's probably the best way I can explain it. And I kind of agree with Scribbles. Like, I think even if Anthony Richardson wins his job, he has to be healthy for that whole stint and be consistent. Like, if I told you Anthony Richardson finishes as a top 12, let's say top 18 quarterback for the whole season, I don't think that instantly boosts his value to the person we hoped him to be. I would say if he finishes,
but we are talking about
a
a guy who, in over 55% of his starts where he's been healthy, has had a top, I think, top 10 finish. So
sure. I think there's a lot of. I think there will be asterisks with that for a lot of people. I'm not saying that's for me. I'm just saying for a lot of people there will be asterisks.
If you don't have an asterisk on Anthony Richardson, then I don't know what we're watching different players. So yeah, obviously I get it. The price is what I'm talking about, though.
The price is fine. I get it. Like, send a third for Anthony Richardson, sure. Am I sending a second? No. Do I want to send Anthony Richardson for a Jacoby Myers if I can get it? Sure. Or if I send Jacoby Myers for Anthony Richardson the other way around, I would do that 100%. I'm there with you. I think when it comes down, do I believe Anthony Richardson is going to be the guy we hope and expect him to be because of his athleticism? I actually don't think that's the case anymore. Right. I think there's more than that, but maybe that's a different conversation.
I mean, I don't agree that he can't be the same player from like an athletic perspective. I still think he's more than enough of an athlete to be a difference maker at the position in that fashion.
But I think that's the problem. Like, as you're making your pick here,
yeah.
I think that's the problem.
I'm gonna grab. Oh yeah, Jordan Mason, perfect. Okay, so let's look at some recent trades for Anthony Richardson, and you guys tell me if you would do this trade or not. These are super flex only trades, okay? And I added Anthony Richardson in a couple leagues this offseason because he was so cheap. I was negotiating deals and I said, hey, what if I throw this in and you throw A-Rich in? People were like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about A-Rich. Sorry, family friendly. People didn't care. They didn't care losing Anthony Richardson. I understand, right? I understand why. But here's some recent trades that have happened in real leagues on the Flock site with our trade finder. Okay, so super flex, 10-team start 9. Someone sent Adonai Mitchell, Tajay, and the 308 for Anthony Richardson.
I'm there. I'll take Anthony Richardson.
I'll take Anthony Richardson. Someone sent away Matthew Stafford for Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, perfect.
And what world do you not prefer A-Rich and Daniel Jones there with Stafford's age? Someone got A-Rich in a 4th for a 2nd. This is probably another example of like a huge deal where you kind of just get A-Rich thrown in. This is an overpay, obviously, like Dobbs, Richardson for a first. I mean, that's just lunacy. Some of these are crazy where your people are getting first round picks. So it depends on the price in your league. Aaron Rodgers in a third. Are you making that deal? Aaron Rodgers in a third.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm not going to send a second and a third.
Yeah.
You know, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to send the 201. But would I send Geno Smith away for A-Rich? Sure. Why not? Absolutely. As we do have a question on the Flock site, by the way, from Turbo. Now, he asked this question offline, and I already answered it for him. But let's have a look at it. He would be sending away the 112, the 202, the 102, McCarthy, and Addison. It's a big haul. But he would be getting back a first and Bijan Robinson. And remember, this is a one quarterback. This is not super flex. So McCarthy doesn't have the power in a trade like this. So really, the question I'm asking myself is, would I rather have Amarion Hampton and these picks, the 112, the 202, which are not as powerful in a one quarterback league, remember, okay, or Bijan in a first? And with it being a start 8, a small lineup, with it being a one quarterback league, I do lean Bijan Robinson. I think it's a very fair deal on both sides, but I do lean the Bijan Robinson side of this trade. Obviously, Amarion Hampton's a hefty name to go out and add, but I just don't think in a smaller format like this start 8, you know, you're going to be that pressed about losing the 202 and like an Addison, a McCarthy, and a one quarterback. So I'm going to go Bijan there pretty easily. And if you guys want to submit a question to us on the show, you can do that pretty easily with the link that Nightbot just put in the chat for you if you'd like to submit any questions. All right, we're here in the last round. I thought some of these tight ends would fall, but you went 3 tight ends in a row. What the hell, man?
I didn't have anyone else. I mean, I felt pretty confident. I got my QB3. I got 2 running backs. I got 4 wide receivers. I could have gotten more wide receivers for sure, but
I was like eyeing up some of these guys and waiting for them to fall, and then that's on me. I got to look in the mirror and say, you know what, that one.
I'll send you a trade. Make it a real league. Send you a trade.
I will probably grab Britton Strange here then. Who his ADP on every platform is still far too low, in my opinion. Yeah, good chat.
100%. It's so weird. It hasn't
changed or caught up or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, like at all. Like
no, not really.
It's been like that the whole off season. It's weird.
All right, guys, we appreciate y'all jumping into a mock draft with us. We're having a lot of fun doing it. By the way, if you're just here, you might not have realized at the beginning of the stream we talked about a giveaway we're doing today. So, Badaki and I have been carefully crafting a draft guide for the 2025 season behind the scenes for the last 2 months. And we're going to release it soon, but we are offering early access to one person on today's stream as a giveaway. So if you want to enter, if you want to be the first person to set your eyes on our draft guide outside of Badaki and myself, all you have to do is like the stream and type LAND into the chat, LAND. We will do that giveaway at the end of today's stream. Make sure you hang around because we're not going to follow up on you if you're not going to hang around with us. But let's go ahead and jump into, I apologize, the second part of our stream, which is some team playbooks. Let's go ahead and jump in. The rest of today's stream is going to be dedicated to helping people's dynasty teams, helping them create better dynasty teams. If you want to get into the queue and get your team playbook going, great night for you to do so. Team playbook. This is what you get after we review your team on the live stream. Customized game plan for your dynasty team. You can get that by either becoming a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. You'll get a voucher that you use through the Flock store, or just go to the Flock store if you're a member of a different promo code or you already have used your voucher and select us. And then for today's stream, you don't have to go to the live tier. Any tier is fine. Submit your team playbook and we'll look at it on today's stream and help out your dynasty team. Let's see. El Tigre says, give me that playbook. Come on in, El Tigre. Come on in. The water's fine. Can I provide more context to my question in the chat? Sure, man. Yeah, if once you submit over there, we're going to be here answering it, so we'll see you. Shall we get to Jeb here? First team playbook.
My name's Jeb. Yes, absolutely, Jeb. We appreciate you. I know you're probably here in the chat. please jump in at any point in time with any other context that you do have here. It's a 2 quarterback, 12-team start 10, which is our classic middle ground. You can start up to 3 wide receivers in that flex position or 3 running backs, however way you want to look at that. Jeb, he says, just got out of the slow startup, had the 102 every time I went to target a decent wide receiver 2 or QB2, got sniped, so took best available. Ended up pretty RB heavy for comp assets. Want with upside wide receiver darts. Haven't offered to tear down from Allen, but is not good enough. We'll send details in the follow up. Okay, so yes, you are here. You're currently ranked 10th out of 12th. The man tailoring.
But
you love
that
to
doesn't
see
mean that doesn't mean much coming off a startup, we should say.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that at all. But let's have a look at your team here.
And by the way, he says, here's the offer I got to tear down from Allen. Allen and Ladd for Dak, Puka, Godwin, and a first. Yeah, that's not even close.
Yeah. No.
That's actually a ridiculous offer. The other quarterback is Mahomes. Thought about countering. All right, we'll look at that in a second. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Jason just had an unreal one-handed catch in practice. Value's going up there. Anyways, Josh Allen, Justin Fields, and Joe Flacco with Zach Wilson. So you got 2 quarterbacks there with Justin Fields. I can definitely understand that. At the running back position, Bucky Irving, Jonathan Taylor, R.J. Harvey, Trey Benson, Javonte Williams, Jalen Wright, and the list goes on with DJ Giddens and J.K. Dobbins. I like this running back room. Good depth, some good high upside players.
Yeah.
At the wide receiver position, you can start up to 5 wide receivers. Here are your starting 5. Ladd, Smith, Waddle. That's really it at the starting wide receiver position. Then you have Roman Wilson, Marvin Mims, and really no one else to really speak of there, with Tucker Kraft and K. Dalton at that tight end position. Having a look at your waiver wire really quick. I mean, I say this all the time. I like to pick up Luke Musgrave, just to maybe lock up that tight end room if you wanted to. Dante Thornton, I know Zach likes to kind of mention to pick up as well.
Yep. He should be rostered in every Dynasty league by now. So I agree.
That's probably the only 2 I would be willing to pick up there. But going straight into some admin stuff, untouchables, the only untouchable you have is Josh Allen. And in my perspective here for a team like this, holds Trey Benson.
To sell him though. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, Trey Benson, Jalen Wright. I would say Roman Wilson, Tucker Kraft are probably the 3 holds. Obviously, you can throw other names like the R.J. Harveys in there if you wanted to, just to wait and see what's going to be happening with some of these guys, or even J.K. Dobbins if you wanted to. But easy drops: Jermaine Burton, Luke McCaffrey, Zach Wilson. I guess we can throw a name like just to round it out at that with the 4th is maybe a Joe Flacco if you wanted to, once we kind of know who's going to be the starting quarterback. But you can hold on to those guys if you wanted to. Since Thornton was drafted, not sure why.
Yeah, I just let our depth
he's shown on waiver
wire.
Okay, that's totally fine there. But that's kind of it for the admin stuff outside of draft capital. I'll say draft capital since you have all your first in 2026. And it looks like you have all that in 27 as well. I'll just give you a B flat. And what are you thinking for the overall team grade here?
I mean, if you think about your starting lineup, it's probably Allen, Fields, Bucky, Taylor, Ladd, Smith, Kraft. That's 7. You need 3 more. So Waddle makes it 8.
Maybe RJ you throw in there.
Yeah, maybe RJ.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, not
RJ or maybe Javonte.
It's not uncommon for a team to come off of a startup and feel this this imbalance or like lack of depth or holes in your starting lineup. But I do think that drafting 3 receivers you feel comfortable with in a startup, that's tough. That's really tough to only get 3 guys that you actually feel okay about starting. So I'm going to say I lean like it's either C+ or B-.
Okay. I would say,
range.
Yeah.
It's not a bad team. I I do think Josh Allen, like I probably would tear down from Josh Allen with this team for sure.
Yeah, I think it falls off at that. I think I would say C plus.
Okay.
Just because the flex positions are really weak outside of RJ, and you're banking on the rookie to fill in.
Yeah.
Or specifically, you bank on the rookie to fill in, and then obviously you have Jalen Waddle flex position. But that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. So definitely some work to be done. I think we're all on the same page there when we say that.
Yep.
And that doesn't mean, that it's a bad team. It's just there's a little bit of work to be done. So when thinking about like a pathway for a team like this, I feel like after a tear down we can compete, but I'm also not opposed to the idea of in season maybe tearing it down a little bit either. Like if in season we start off really rough and we need to sell high on Fields and Taylor and Smith and Waddle, I'm not opposed to doing something like that either. So maybe this should be an in or out based off how the season goes, and we'll talk about both of those options.
Yeah.
I lean a little bit more towards like a punt than being all in, although I will say, if I'm honest. Okay, so have we done all admin, or is there anything else that we missed?
Yeah, that's all admin.
Okay, so when you look at the chalkboard here, these were the ideas you put in the chat to us. You said the first offer that you have is Josh Allen and Ladd to get Dak, Puka, Godwin, and a first. And my response would be hell no to that. So
yeah,
you can clip this part of this video if you want and let him know. I don't care if he comes after me in the comment section. That's a stupid offer, and he should know that. And then the other one is Josh Allen and Devonta Smith for Mahomes, Puka, Godwin, and 2 firsts. So let's kind of break this down. I think the big pieces here, you're basically going from Josh Allen to Puka and a first. Let's say Puka first and Godwin. That kind of feels close in value, maybe a little bit off. And then you're going from Devonta to Mahomes and a first. It's not far off. I'm not obsessed with the idea of adding like Godwin. I wonder what this team has. Let's look at the Mahomes team.
Yeah, I'm having to look, and there's really not much. A little bit of an older team. There's no other young assets that you can kind of swap out for Godwin. He does have Dak Prescott, but if he had a young running back, maybe I would have been interested rather than Godwin. If he had like a Caleb or
what if we sent him a, just thinking out loud here, what if we sent him like Waddle on the first is just equal value? I was trying, there's just the problem here with your flexibility is you go from my wide receiver 24 to my wide receiver 72. It's so hard to find a middle ground there. I mean, maybe you could throw Javonte into this deal. Like, could you maybe work out a similar deal where you add Javonte Williams and then you get another first on top of this? So it ends up being 3 firsts. That 26 first, the 27 first. I don't care which other first it is. Like, could you maybe stretch it to that? I will say it's going to be difficult to do a tear down straight off of a startup, but just working off the ideas that you have. I don't hate this idea. I'm not in love with it, but I don't hate it. But it's going to be hard to tear down straight off a startup, but I think we should try and do our due diligence here as well. So let's have a look at, like, every team I guess could be eligible at this point. So why don't we just go from the top to the bottom, and let's say Caleb Williams. This guy's clearly built his team for the future, so I actually think it's pointless thinking of an idea because this guy's not going to trade in all these assets for Allen.
4 firsts. Yeah.
But some of these other teams might be more intrigued. So like going to a McCarthy, for example, if you could do like McCarthy, T-Mac in a first or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He had first and 27, which is better. That's what we probably want.
Yeah, like that might be closer. That's about 4 firsts in value you're getting back. McCarthy, you're probably not going to sell him for a single first. T-Mac's worth a first and another first. I think that's close there. And again, trying to keep in mind that it's going to be hard to tear down straight off a startup.
Yeah.
May is going to be harder to tear down too, so I won't go there. Don't hate the idea of doing like a Trevor Lawrence. And by the way, Jeb says his feedback on my thoughts on the Allen trade was Flock has Allen practically untradeable. Yeah, you can actually clip this and send it to him. Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, that's like the most. It's like, brother, are you stupid? No shit. That's what Zach really wants to say.
No, but for real, that's you got there. Seriously though, it should be very hard to trade for the best player in fantasy football. Sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but yeah, that's right. He said he didn't see open to trading an additional first for Allen. So then, yeah, you stop talking to him then. All right, that's as simple as that one gets. Okay, so he says Trevor Lawrence could be an option here with like a Travis Hunter type of move. So it would actually look quite similar, but it would be Trevor Lawrence plus Travis Hunter in a first. You know what I mean? So that would be like a similar idea there for that team. Let's have a look here. CJ Stroud. I'm worried CJ's going to turn into like Tua for fantasy. I don't want that to be the way
you feel. The same way you feel about that concern. That's how I feel about Caleb.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like,
but if you swapped their positions and you put CJ in Chicago, how excited would you be about him?
Yeah, but I think there was also a lot of, not that there wasn't excuses for CJ or for Caleb. But yeah, obviously it's his rookie year.
Yeah.
But CJ went into nothing. We weren't expecting Nico to break out. We weren't expecting Tank Dell to be something.
Yeah.
CJ made the people around him better, where Caleb they traded for a wide receiver. They drafted a wide receiver.
Yeah.
You know, like you had those pieces around you and still didn't, you know, anyways, that's how I feel. But
you could go the Cam Ward route if you're a Cam Ward guy. I would say like Cam Ward, Marvin in a first or something, you know?
Yeah.
I am not, I don't know where to stand on Cam Ward. Purdy would be awesome. I think he's much safer. This guy doesn't really have a lot of like flexibility though. Like you're not going to do like Purdy Jameson in a first or something. That's not going to work. So I don't think that team's going to work necessarily. Jordan Love is very affordable right now. Like what about Love Wilson in a first or something?
Love Wilson in a first.
And if that's too much, you could maybe even throw like a Javonte Williams back at them. You know, Roman Wilson's not going to do anything. You could figure out a way to get there. Yeah, let's see. I think those are your main options there if you're going to tear down. Those teams would be your main options there. But outside of that, I think if we're going in season and we're saying sell, if you get to that point, then I think like the pathway forward is to kind of shop some of these names as high, like trade away targets, I'll just say, at that time would be you know, like Josh Allen, obviously. Justin Fields, even, I feel like you could sell high.
That's what I was going to say. I didn't know if you're going to be on the same page.
Jonathan Taylor.
Javonte.
Say, yeah, Javonte Williams, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle. You know, like those are all guys that you could sell in season to the right people. And it might, like, you might have troubles. J.K. Dobbins, you can throw in there. You might have troubles making a trade right now before the season, to be honest. So try the tier downs, but don't force it if it doesn't happen. Yeah. And then in season, be prepared to sell these guys for whatever their equivalent value is. So let's say in season, Javonte Williams starts off really hot. And, you know, he's a top 20 running back through 5 weeks. Well, can you get an early second for him? But if he starts off and he has, you know, he's averaging 6 points per game, well, take any third or fourth you can get for him. You know what I mean? So it's kind of pointless to give you values on these names right now outside of just telling, like, Allen needs to give a haul, obviously. But let us know if there's anything we didn't cover or any questions, Jeb, that, you know, we didn't cover that you had questions about. You know, we want to make sure you feel really good. Overall, like, just know, like, the team's in a good place. Patience is typically your best friend with, you know, being in a situation like this. So,
yeah, man. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. I mean, you know the spiel. You should be receiving your playbook here within 24 to 48 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system, customized with everything that we drew up here for you today. Thank you so much for the support. Not only, I mean, you're supporting us on the Flock Fantasy website, you're supporting us here on YouTube. See that that goat next to you as well. So we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
He says that was perfect. So we appreciate you, man.
Perfect.
And like Badaki always says, you know, he'll get your playbook. What do you think? What's the time on these playbooks getting pushed out today?
Most likely either today or tomorrow, just because we're going to be going. We're not going to, you know, be live for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
With the community. But yes, either today or tomorrow. What is happening? I think the next one up is Prince Dre.
Yep, we do got some spots for a team playbook tonight, by the way, if you guys want to get in. You can either become an annual member and get a voucher to submit through the site with us, or you can just purchase one a la carte. But we can review your team today if you'd like to have that happen. No pressure either way. Let's go. I just want to quickly answer the trade question that got submitted from... who was it in the chat? I think it was Joseph. Joseph submitted a trade question.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at his.
Let us know if this is you.
Humongous is his name. Says Laporta for a 27 first and Fant. I can't imagine you being able to get more than that. I mean, is there a tight end premium? He says rebuilding with all my own firsts and likely landing the 101 and 26. New to Dynasty, unsure how picks is enough to get Laporta's positional advantage. No tight end premium. It's only a 0.5 PPR. Honestly, man, like, I don't think you can get more than this in a Laporta trade. Even in like a 0.5 premium, I think that's probably his price, a 27 first. Do you disagree, Badaki, though? Like,
yeah, I don't think you can get more. I personally think this is a fair trade. I think it just depends on how you value Laporta. You know, Laporta's on a high-powered offense, and you can argue that he's a second or third target in that offense, depending on how you see that. I think, you know, Fannin is in question. That first is also in a good class as well. So I personally I think this is kind of a wash. You pick your poison. If you know your team to be as strong, and you say, you know what, let me just kind of continue to get more wide receivers or more running backs in 2027, and then I'll just hit the waiver wire at tight end, sure. Or you can keep Laporta knowing that he's a young tight end, a young asset, and then go to the next level there. So I think this is a fairly even trade personally.
Yeah. I agree with you. I don't have a strong opinion on this one. I think it's fair value. If Laporta has another season like he had last year, I'd probably argue people won't be willing to pay a first anymore. Like, if he has another season where it's like 10 points per game, 12 points per game, if he's not a true difference maker this year, people don't pay first-round picks for non-difference maker tight ends. Do you know what I mean? And, of course, like, Laporta should recover, and he should become that guy again. But I just don't think that you're risking a lot by taking the pick. Like, So if Laporta has a top 4 season this year, and he's averaging 13.5 points per game, 14 points per game, I don't know that he's more expensive than a first. So I'm fine with the pick. If you can turn Fannin into a second instead, I think we'd both prefer that. Some people mentioned that in the chat as well. But I feel like I'd be fine to take this.
Yeah.
Personally.
I definitely would agree. And by the way, Joseph, we appreciate your super chat. Just to give you a little bit of a better insight and understanding how to do it, the next time you do submit a question, maybe try and submit your team as well. Not specifically your team in the sense of, how can I explain it? So you're not submitting a team review, you're submitting your team so we can have a look at your whole league.
Yeah, so basically the way you do that is you go to the My Teams feature, and this is free, by the way, the My Teams feature for anyone. If you haven't created a free account yet on the Flock site, you can create a free one using our promo code LAND. And then you can implement like your teams in the My Team feature, and you can kind of see where your league ranks. But then it makes it really easy when your team is linked, because you can go to trade question and you can choose your league. It'll automatically sync your settings. And then you can, once you choose like a player from a team, it'll show all the other players. So whoever has Kyle Monangai in this league also has Taj Brooks, Pollard, Stevenson, and then you can kind of submit the trade, and then we're able to see the entirety of your league when you submit a trade as well. Yeah. So that's what Badaki's saying there. But appreciate you, man. And again,
we appreciate it.
You can see in the chat, a lot of people are saying they prefer Laporta. I don't have a strong opinion. I really don't. Too late to link it for this one, but not for the next one if you were ever to submit another trade.
Yeah, if you have other questions, or if you want us, not saying you have to, but if you want to do it again and say, you know what, have a look at the team, have it more in depth, we're happy to have a look at that. But we appreciate you either way.
But I don't think my opinion would change based on what you told us. So
Prince Dre is next. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. Jump in at any point in time. Of course, I did see that you were in the chat earlier.
Prince is here, right?
So
Rowan's here too, but Prince is in the building. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Let's have a look at this team. That's So Raven is your team. I don't think there's any context on the back or the front end there, so that's totally okay. We're just going to go straight in. 1 quarterback, 12 team, start 9 if I'm not mistaken. That's basically the same as that's the same middle ground, but in a 1 quarterback context, meaning that he can start up to 3 flex in that spot and kind of go from there, right? Yep. So keep that in mind.
Anything on the back end?
No, nothing. But Prince is here with us, so if you have any context that you want to throw in, if anything wrong or incorrect, Prince, please jump in any point in time on the chat there. Good team. And we'll have a look. You're currently ranked 1st out of 12. Caleb Williams, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields at the quarterback position, which is really, really good, I think. At the running back position, Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, Bashul, and the list goes on. So a good running back core as well, nothing too crazy. At the wide receiver position, you can start up to 5 wide receivers, and here you're starting 5. Brian Thomas, T. Waddle, Chris Godwin, then next. Then you have Luther Burden, Josh Downs. So those are the guys that you can definitely fit into your flex spot there with TJ Hawkinson and Elijah Arroyo there. And you have 26 first, which is not yours, by the way. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 27 first round picks.
Yep.
Which is incredible. It's probably why you have such a big, probably why you're first, because of that draft capital there. Going straight into some admin stuff, untouchables. Brian Thomas is definitely going to be a guy that is untouchable for us. And that's probably the only untouchable.
Let's say his 27 first as well.
Okay.
I think I want flexibility.
His specifically? Yeah. Or just 27? Okay, 27
I want
first.
Flexibility beyond this year.
At holds to hold, I would say Zach Charbonnet is still a hold for us. At the wide receiver position, Luther Burden is going to be a hold. Yep. Elijah Royal, and then we could probably throw a 4th one in there, maybe Bashul Tootin. Yes, exactly. Drops, Andre Yeshivas, you can drop.
Yeah, or Jimmy if you need to. You don't have to.
Yeah, but Jimmy. Those are the 2 that you to dropping.
I'm just going to assume that every time Deontay Thornton is there, he's actually not available from now on, by the way, because I don't think they've fixed that glitch yet. But overall team grade. He said this startup just happened, which is crazy. This does not look like a team that just came out of a startup. It looks like a team that has been in the league at least a year making trades. And that's a good thing. Like, this team is better than I thought it would be coming out of a startup. I would say, like, B+ territory with all the amount of picks.
Yeah.
And we'll say A- on the
yeah.
picks because he doesn't have his own in 26. So it's a little counterintuitive because you don't have your own first in 26. So you do need to compete this year. So you're in a weird spot, like, when we're looking at a pathway. It's like, well, for this year, you are windows open because there's no point in not competing without your own first in 2026, right? It doesn't make sense. In fact, you have no picks in 26. You don't have a first, second, third, or fourth.
He has
so
his
there
pick.
is.
Or sorry, he has a pick. Excuse me. I apologize. He doesn't have his pick.
Doesn't have any of his own picks, and there's no rationale to not compete this year. And then if you want to, next offseason flip Jonathan Taylor or T. Higgins, you'll have the flexibility to do so, and then you kind of go into that, like, all right, let's see what this youth can do in the 2027 class, 2026 class. So I think this year we compete, but being ready to be flexible with this roster and move pieces is also a good idea. So, is there any other admin?
No, that's all.
So if you're coming off a startup, then you haven't had a rookie draft. So there's no point in talking about, like, rookies that you may or may not have added. It's a weird team, I'll be honest, from the sense of, like, telling you what to do moving forward. It's a start 9, so let's look at that 9 and what they would look like, okay? That's your 7. And then your 8 would be Waddle. And then your 9 would be probably Godwin, Downs, one of these names. If Ken Walker goes down, you still have Zach Charbonnet, so that's great. You also have Tony Pollard. I mean, I would kind of err on the side of, like, keeping the team the way it is.
That's kind of where I'm at. I mean, not that there's nothing that you should do. You definitely can go out and utilize maybe some of these 27 firsts. But if you're saying you're coming out of a startup, any one of these teams could be the 101 next year because you don't know how some of these teams are going to perform, right?
Yeah, it's all a little bit unknown. I think we play this as, like, a in season is when you decide if you need to make moves or not. And I say that because, okay, so in season, you decide you're contending for real, we can move some of those picks. But if in season you decide, all right, I'm a seller. So, for example, in season,
you would just have more context. By the way, sorry to say that, but, like, you have more context of where those firsts are. If you're competing, that means some of those firsts that you have are probably not the first you should sell, right?
Yeah. So let's say you
would know that by then.
You start 5-2, right? Then you can go out and look to spend, like, that 26 first. Can we add a name? And we'll talk about what those names might be, but it's going to be different in season, obviously. Values will change. But then if you're not going the way you wanted it to in season, you can easily start to, like, look at selling, like, even like a Justin Fields would have some value in this league.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard, we could sell. Chris Godwin, we could sell. Waddle, I wouldn't be opposed to moving. Hawkinson, maybe. Is it a premium?
Hawkinson. No, it's not.
Okay. So let's just play out that idea. And Prince can jump in whenever if he has any questions. But so you're contending and you're like a piece away. Well, right now I would say, can we go out there and can we send that first round pick? And, did Breece Hall go down for a couple weeks with an injury? Kyron Williams, Chase Brown, just as ideas here off the top. Now, obviously, if Kyron Williams' role isn't the same in season, you'll know, okay, I'm not going to actually go after Kyron Williams. The Jacobs of the world, the CMCs of the world. But at wide receiver, if you need to add there, you're going to have to go down further here. But can you grab like an Olave, a DK Metcalf? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? These type of guys are like your fringe wide receiver 2-3 that can help in your flex. George Pickens, DJ Moore. Is George Pickens lighting it up? Addison after his suspension. Devonta Smith, you know. So,
yeah, I'm all there with you.
like, hypothetically, that's the world where you're contending, and it's like players with that kind of value to your starting lineup. Okay. The other world is you're clearly a seller, and in a one quarterback league, Justin Fields, you could probably get, if he's really balling out, like an early second. You know, for Tony Pollard, probably a mid second. For Godwin,
honestly, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, like, in a one quarterback perspective, I'm also happy to sell Justin Fields now to see what I can get to help you compete if you wanted to go that route as well.
Sure, not a bad idea.
Or just one of these quarterbacks. You can sell Trevor, you can sell Caleb, or whoever one you feel more comfortable with, however way.
I think Fields will be a starter day one if he keeps him, though.
Sure. I guess, like, he has the highest upside just because of his rushing capabilities. Or you can just sell Trevor Lawrence for an early second type of player that you'll feel more comfortable with to help you compete. Like, can you sell? Let me bring up some names here.
Not a bad idea to think about, like, in season again, if you are contending and Caleb and Trevor are reliable. Can you tack Justin onto one of these 26 first trades and get an even better player? Can you get into the Garrett Wilson ranges? Hypothetically, the Bucky Irvings, like, probably not for some of those names, but it's worth trying. I would agree.
Yeah.
Godwin, I would say in the ideal world, you can get like multiple seconds if he's the same player, but you might have to settle for like 1 second. All this is depending on how these players perform. I would say for Waddle, any first in any year. And then Hawkinson is either the same thing or multiple seconds, I think I would hold him if I can't get a first. So that's kind of your game plan, honestly. You've kind of, I don't know if this is disappointing for you to hear, but when I look at a team like this, I'm kind of like, they've already put their ship in the direction,
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
They've already set the GPS, and there's no reason for me to add another stop and detour you when you're already getting closer to your destination based off of the route you've selected, right? So
exactly.
I like this team a lot. So, I would love to have a team like this. This is fun.
Yeah, I do like this team a lot as well. So appreciate you, Prince. Please jump in any point in time with any last minute questions. You should be receiving your playbook within 24 to 48 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system, customized with everything that we drew up here for you today. But it's a really, really good team, man. But once again, the floor is yours for any questions.
Please let us know if there's anything we didn't cover in depth, man. He says, "Thank you. I was trying to figure out my direction, and I hope we've done a good job there, helping you figure it out. I do feel like you've got a great team. Definitely hold for now, and then you can play out these two scenarios in season. But I would say your team is more of a hold right now than anything." Yeah. All right, Liquams is next here, and if you want a team playbook, let us know if you have any questions on how to get one from us tonight on the stream. We do have room to look at your team tonight. How can I expand my RB room without trashing my wide receiver room? Is his main question there, which we will look at here.
Yeah, we will have a look at your team name. It's called Brown Stain. Stains, excuse me.
Which you're ranked third. That's good.
Yeah, ranked third out of 10 to 10-man league, a one quarterback, 10-team start 9. So another middle ground there
same
for
thing,
us.
Right?
Yeah, the exact same thing. Let's have a look at this team here. At the quarterback position, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Trevor Lawrence, Cam Ward. Wow, a lot of quarterbacks here for that one quarterback league. Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor, Trey Benson, Rashad White, some good running backs in that room as well. Started to 5 wide receivers: Amon-Ra St. Brown, Hunter, McMillan, Ricky Downs with Mooney Bateman. You also have Tucker Craft, Evan Ingram as well, Terrence Ferguson. So a lot of depth in this league. A 26 first, you have your 27 first, you have as well. No one on the waiver wire is really worth mentioning at the moment here. Going straight into admin, obviously Jaden Daniels is going to be a hold for us. I would also say Bijan Robinson, of course, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And that's probably it. Yeah, that's probably it there at the hold position, or at the untouchables. Holds, a lot of holds.
Yeah,
as
those
well.
are untouchables, by the way, just to be clear.
Yeah, sorry. Trey Benson. I would also put Ricky Pearsall in that category as well. I guess we can also put Josh Downs there. We can do there's a lot of holds on this team. We can also put Tucker Craft or Terrence Ferguson, however many holds and players that you believe in, we are happy to hold. And for drops, a lot. Keaton Mitchell, I'm happy to drop. Kate Alton, I'm happy to drop in, like Ty Felton, Jalen Lane.
I'd rather drop like Lane Felton if you're gonna drop someone, but I do think that, and I put this on the chalkboard, that Ordon Gazden, I'm probably saying that wrong, should be picked up for sure. In fact, I love doing playbooks because it reminds me I haven't updated my rankings on certain players, and he would be one of them. He's just constantly shining in practice and catching attention.
You know who's shining in practice? Tell me. You know him. He's on the same team. He's on the same team.
Same team. Is it Trey Harris? I don't know. I don't actually know.
No, Quentin Johnston.
Oh, Quentin
Come on,
Johnston.
baby.
Right. Yeah.
See at the top.
Wide receiver one. Okay.
Wide receiver one.
Yeah, having this many quarterbacks, I'm not going to lie, it just doesn't do anything for you in a one quarterback league.
Especially a 10-man league as well. That's what's crazy. I get it if this was like a 12-man league. That means somebody's struggling, but this is 10-man.
Out of 32 NFL starting quarterbacks, you only need to field 10 per week in this league. Not great. It's not great that the area you're deepest at is the area that you have the least leverage in. So that's not great either. Maybe, so like this is the worst team in your league at quarterback, and they have Stroud and Dak Prescott. I don't know that you can sell them a Lawrence or Ward. I don't really think that's going to make an impact on their lineup, but that's okay. That just kind of is what it is. Maybe we can find it. Like the guy who's cream team, maybe he could use a quarterback, but you're not going to have a ton of leverage. Just keep that in mind at that spot. Did we give an overall team grade?
No, we have not. No team grade, no path forward, or draft capital.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you draft capital, we're probably just going to put it like a B flat. You have all your capital there outside of your third. You got a couple extra fourths. So it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Overall team grade, I think the team is good. I would just say this team is maybe like a B plus in my eyes.
Team's good. Yeah, I like the team, honestly. Like that Bijan Taylor combo is great. I love Benson, but no guarantees outside of him in your room. I like your wide receiver room a lot. If Travis and T-Mac both hit, you're cheering. Love Downs down there. Kraft and Ingram's a great tight end room, and you've got a bunch of upside with Terrence Ferguson as well.
Yeah.
What's up, WG? Wife is out of town, so I'll do one tonight if you have time. We have time, my friend. We are here. Man. We're ready to go.
I'll put that link in the chat for you.
When the ladies are away, the boys play is what they say. But yeah, I like this team a lot. I honestly think that it's in a pretty good shape. And you have a lot of depth everywhere outside of running back, really. You could use some more top-end names at wide receiver, but you have a pretty good amount of depth everywhere outside of running back. What do you think in team grade on this?
I would say like a B plus type of team. B plus. You can even do A minus, or if you wanted to.
Yeah, let's go B plus. I think it gets into the A's if Hunter and McMillan hit. Still a lot of question marks. But a lot of potential here. Okay.
I agree.
So with that in mind, is there anything that we haven't done admin-wise?
No, that's everything. Or just pathway forward, which I would
Yes.
imagine it will probably still be contender.
Yeah, this is a contender.
Yeah.
I'd say so. I can
Yeah.
definitely see you contending with this roster. All right, let's go to the chalkboard. So you ended up this year with Cam Ward, big names that we're talking about: Travis Hunter, T Mac, Terrence Ferguson. I gave you an A overall. I liked your draft a lot. I will say I think you could have used some more help at running back. So maybe if that was one of Travis or Hunter and then Henderson, especially in a one quarterback, it's hard to get running backs. That might have been more beneficial, but doesn't matter. You needed help in both areas. And if you got your guys, that's all that matters. Gadsden should it should be rostered.
Gadsden.
OG should be rostered. Okay. So looking at this team here, I definitely think you're a contender. And I think this is another contender, but do you go all in? I think it depends on what happens this season.
I feel like there's still a lot of upside here. I feel like what I'm trying to do in this league like this is trying to get a couple extra pieces.
Yeah.
Can I get some guys that people don't believe in right now? Which is really difficult to say because who are you going to utilize and what are you going to utilize outside of your quarterback? So in a one quarterback is not a much value, right? Like my instant thought was can I send Trevor Lawrence and get some low end wide receiver that people don't believe in, like I don't know, a Sutton or a Keon Coleman, I don't know, Jaden Reed. I'm just throwing names out there, but we can probably find better values and better names.
Yeah.
But that's where my mind instantly went to, getting some guys that can help us.
I went to a similar spot, but at running back.
Okay.
So trying to tack Cam Ward and Evan Ingram onto someone's team, for example. So why don't we start there?
Sure.
This can be Tucker Kraft, if you prefer. He says, I just traded Reed for Benson and Giddens, which that's a pretty good trade for both sides.
I think it's a good trade, yeah.
But let's see if we can pack Cam Ward and Ingram onto a team. Let's sort by quarterback strength in your league. Again, quarterback's not going to have... Actually, let's sort by tight end strength. Really, tight end is actually going to give you more wiggle room here. So the worst tight end room has Kelsey. They have a lot of running backs. So can we give them... You might have to ignore the quarterback one here, but could you move Evan Ingram for a David Montgomery? Sure. I don't know. In some leagues, you might be able to.
That'd be difficult.
Maybe you have to tack on some player that is less valuable. What's your team name again? Brownstein. So maybe you tack on Cam Ward. I mean,
it's gonna be difficult. Yeah.
Torrey Horton, Marvin Mims, one of those names. Rashad Bateman, right? Torrey Horton.
Yeah.
We like these guys. We want to keep them, but we can also move on from them if we need to. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was it? Who was it outside of Mims? I said Torrey Horton as well.
Torrey Horton.
Something like that would be ideal. They just don't need quarterback. I mean, if you can do a Ward and Ingram for Chuba, I just don't see that working. Let's say you get Chuba Hubbard in a third or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, they just don't have any need at quarterback. But maybe they're a Titans fan. That'd be great. This guy's David Njoku. I think he's probably not going to be that interested, but he could use another quarterback there. His depth is just awful across the board. But I'd love to land a Kamara. What about even a James Conner? Would you send Cam Ward for James Conner? In a one quarterback? Because you already have Trey Benson. And then
yeah, I mean,
you're kind of just you have a starter no matter what.
Yeah, as a just in case.
Yeah.
Right. So
Or you can do it
I
for
hear you.
Pacheco as well, you know. Like if you can give him a quarterback and just get something out of it, that'd be great. Even better,
Yeah.
let's throw in Ward and Evan Ingram. And try and land like a Connor and, you know, Evans or Diggs or something, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, not
Yeah,
all
that
these
helps you on
not
both
all these deals
fronts.
are going to work. I'm just trying to give you as much flexibility in a league that doesn't have flexibility. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
in a
No,
league
that
that's
definitely
set
makes
up
sense.
for no flexibility, we're trying to give you flexibility. Because when I look at the rest of your, who the hell else needs a tight end? Nobody. Yeah. That's tough in a 10 team, man.
Yeah, it is tough in a 10-man league. So, my
Um,
next thought was going to utilize some of these picks to get some of these players, but the key players that you need that you don't like, you can use your seconds to go out and get the Alvin Kamara's of the world, but
you could
there's
do
no
that, yeah.
point of trying. I mean, you
Look,
can.
that's not a terrible idea either. We can explore that real quickly. Like the Alvin Kamara's,
I guess what my ideal world would have been like, all right,
Joe
I'm gonna use the
Mixon.
thirds, and I'm gonna go out and
Okay.
take a swing on the Swifts, take a swing on the
Well,
ETNs, the tanks of the world. But
I
he
think
doesn't
you're
have
gonna
his
have to
thirds.
send a second for those guys now. They're
Okay.
all more respected right now in rankings.
Yeah.
And,
The Aaron
but
Jones
what
as well. Just
what
thinking out
about
loud.
sending a second and a third for the combo of Aaron Jones
And Mason?
and Jordan Mason?
Are
Because
they on the same team?
yeah, they are. You can't
Okay,
sell
awesome.
Aaron Jones for a second round pick in most leagues right now. And you can't get Mason for a third round pick in a lot of leagues. So why not try and meet in the middle there? That's another idea, but yeah, your ideal world, and this sounds terrible, P fella, is that someone's quarterback goes down in season and you have just, more.
You got him.
Yeah, you have more flexibility because people want quarterbacks from your team. But
Like, yo, I got you.
you've built a pretty good team. You should feel pretty proud of it. I would love to hear if you have any questions that we didn't answer. He said that he was a champ last year. He's going into
Congrats,
year 4.
brother.
I believe he said
congrats.
that. I think I saw him.
Yeah, he
say
said I
that.
took the chip last season,
So
which is great. I mean,
yeah,
really good, man.
your team's in a
Appreciate
good position for sure.
Yeah, I like this team. I think you done once again. You done everything right to kind of put yourself in a position to go out and compete.
I'll be right back.
Trying to make yourself younger as well. But we definitely appreciate you. Please jump in at any point in time with any last minute questions that you do have. You should be receiving your playbook in the Flock Fantasy messages within 24 to 48 hours after your review is done. But once again, really good team here. Yeah, I look, in my perspective, when it comes down to these running backs, I think that's totally fine. Like, get one of these running backs, add a wide receiver to that. Like, I love this James Conner, Mike Evans deal. You probably can't see that, but that's probably the most ideal one that I will be going for, because that gives you more depth at wide receiver and helps you to kind of plug and play one of those guys if Hunter and McMillan doesn't hit, specifically in the rookie year. And then it gives you more flexibility at the running back position there as well. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Once again, the floor is yours if you have any questions, as we'll wait for that. But I do believe as we get to the next playbook, Rowan is next. Huge supporter. Appreciate you, man. Awesome. And you're here with us, which is amazing. And then once Zach gets back,
I'm here.
we'll have a look. Okay, we'll have a look at that team, which is awesome.
P fella said, did we have anything from P fella?
No, I haven't.
What would you
I
try to flip
haven't.
White for? He says Rashad White. I mean, it's a terrible. Honestly, dude, it is not a good time to sell Rashad White. You might be able to get a third for him, maybe. And your best case scenario as a White owner is that Bucky goes down with an injury for some period of time, and then you have a window to sell him. He's certainly not an attractive guy to sell right. He's not a sell right now. If anything, he's a hold based off what you can get for him. He says third is better than rostering him, but not if Bucky goes down with an injury and then you can sell him for a second. You know?
Yeah.
But we appreciate you, man. Thanks again for the love. We did get a submission there from 50 Cal, by the way. So 50 Cal is also going to get his team reviewed tonight. Sorry, my wife is out getting me bagels, gluten-free, dairy-free bagels for our trip.
Oh, yeah. Gluten-free, dairy-free bagels? Hell yeah.
No worries, P-Fellow. We appreciate you. I'm just going to refresh this list real quick so we can get up to date with the next players, the next teams we're reviewing. I think Rowan is next. We've got Dub G, who submitted, as well as Calster. So we are still getting through these reviews. And we appreciate you guys big time for being here with us. It's a great day to get your team reviewed on the stream. Let's go to Rowan here.
On to Rowan. All right, this is an interesting league. So this league has 2 tight end spots.
I am so sorry to interrupt straight away, but just wanted to say tomorrow on the redraft stream, we're announcing something very exciting, and Rowan is a big part of it. So that's all I wanted to say. All right, so tomorrow on the redraft stream, we'll be live on the Fantasyland Football channel. We'll love to have you guys there, especially if you like playing fantasy football. That's all I'll say. Okay, continue. Go ahead.
Especially if you like playing fantasy football. This league has 2 tight end spots and 2 super flex spots. So that's pretty big.
Okay.
Got Genty at the 101 and Book at the 201 and other pieces. Then I traded Penix, Sinnott, Joe Milton in my first for Higgins, Warren, and Williams. I feel like I need a better RB2 and better flexes, but what do you think? So if I'm not mistaken, this is a 3 quarterback league with tight ends.
First off, that's psychotic. That is psychotic to have a format like that in a 12-team league.
So that's pretty significant there. So having more than 3 quarterbacks in a super flex league, specifically for this, is going to be important. I have 4 to 5 quarterbacks, or at least minimum 3, right? But let's have a look at your team here. Okay.
This is the
Justin
dream
Herbert
roster for P fella's team we just reviewed that had 4
legit.
quarterbacks.
Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy, and Tyler Shook there. So you have 3 quarterbacks, 3 guys are going to be starting, but it's not the strongest, but that's okay. Specifically the QB3 and Tyler Shook. At the running back position, but which I would imagine there's a lot of people that don't have good QB3s. Ashton Genty, Jaden Blue, Jalen Warren, and the list goes on there at the running back position. Sorry, this is also a... This is a start. Is that a start 12? That's another thing that I didn't... That's depth is king in a super flex league.
Start 12. This is one of the craziest lineups I've ever seen, actually.
But it's 3 quarterback...
You can start 3 quarterbacks. You have to start 2 tight ends.
So is that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12?
He says, I told you it was a fun one.
Hold on. So let me know if this is the right starting lineup here, Ron, before I continue. 3 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 tight end, 3 flex spots. That's 6, 8, 10, 12.
Yeah, that looks right.
Yeah. I think I did that right. 3 wide receivers, 2 flex. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, at the wide receiver position, you can start up to 5 wide receivers in a league like this. CeeDee Lamb, Marvin, T, Olave, and Buka, and Kyle Williams there as well, with Brock Bowers and Tyler Warren, Terry Ferguson. That's hot.
That's a cheat code in this league. You have to start 2 tight ends.
Yeah,
Bowers and Warren.
You have Brock Bowers.
Yeah. Your running back room is awful. Outside of Genty, excuse me. It's truly awful, but that's your worst room.
Here. Yeah.
It's a good team, though.
Untouchables, Ashton Genty, of course, is definitely going to be an untouchable for us. I would also say Brock Bowers in a premium. 100% Brock Bowers in a premium. And CeeDee Lamb, of course. That's probably it for the untouchables at the moment.
I wouldn't trade Tyler Warren. Did you add him? I know he's a rookie, but I wouldn't trade Tyler Warren on this team either.
Sure.
I actually think he's untouchable in this format.
Holds.
Yeah,
Tyler
hold.
Shook,
you should hold at this point.
Because of that, I would also say
Ferguson?
you can do like Monongai if you want.
Yeah, Monongai, Ferguson.
Or Harrison. Yeah, right.
Ferguson definitely shouldn't be moved either. Warren, Rowan says, yeah, I would say Warren is untouchable. That's why I traded for him. What was the trade? Did you say here what the trade was? I traded Penix, Sinnott, Joe Milton, and my first for Higgins, Warren, and Williams. Williams being Kyle Williams? Okay.
Drops. Obviously, you can drop Samir Wright, Chris Rodriguez, Sean Tucker, Singletary, Hunter Renfrow, Taj Washington.
Yeah, quite frankly, I think Zamir, Rodriguez, Riley are all just wasting spots. I don't think Thornton's actually in his league and available, so I'm not going to say it. But at the same time, like, you don't have to drop them because your waiver wire is pretty weak. Maybe you pick up a P. Ryan instead. You know, a Mingo, a KCM. Jared Wiley maybe actually should probably be rostered in this type of format. So, yeah. If it's a start 12, our 12 are Herbert, Purdy, Genty, Warren, CD, Marvin, Higgins, Olave, Igbuka, Bowers, Warren. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We still have to start one more name. I don't know where that other name's going to come from. Oh, Shuck. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a league where I wouldn't be too precious with picks, I think. I'd be pretty open to like spending my picks on what I know I'm going to get. Because you have to fulfill so many different parts of this lineup, I don't mind like, you know, sitting a third for the Masons of the world and, you know.
Yeah, because right now you're short on running back and you're short on, not that you can't start Mbuka. Well, in my opinion, you probably shouldn't start Mbuka this year. So, like, I think you're short running back and then you need another wide receiver to help you fill Mbuka's role. So that can be, once again, that's a really cheap role. So, like, you have a bunch of thirds here that you can go out and utilize, potentially get some low-end wide receivers and a low-end running back.
Where did Tyler Warren and Tyler Shuck go in this rookie draft? I'm wondering. Be interesting to find that out. You had a great haul. I know you traded for some of these rookies, but you've got a really nice haul of rookies as well. I mean, if you look at all the rookies that you brought in, names like Shuck, Monongai, Igbuka, Tyler Warren. It's a nice little, let's say A- considering the format you're in. Who would I say? Like Jared Wiley, someone you could definitely consider off the waiver wire. Is there anything that we haven't done admin wise?
Wow. Sorry, Warren at the 107, Shuck at the 301, and this is a 3-quarterback start.
That's surprising.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I am missing Genty. You're right. Yeah, this is actually unreal.
Yeah, when it comes, I think the only other thing we need to talk about is draft capital, overall team grade, and pathway forward. When I think of draft capital,
C+.
You don't have your first and 26. You have your first and 27. So I'm just gonna maybe put that as like a B- type, C+ type deal.
Sure.
Let's put B-. Pathway forward, you don't have your first, so obviously that puts you in that window's open. Why not compete right now?
Yeah.
In 2026, but you do have your first and 27. And then overall team grade, I would just put this as a B-. Oh, I think this is a good team.
Think so?
Considering,
I think given the amount of things you have to be good at, I think B+.
Okay. We're not far. It's not a far off thing. We're still in
Yeah.
the same range. I guess like I'm just thinking of that RB2.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the other wide receiver, but you do really excel. And like, yes, you don't have the best QB3, but at least you have what we know, Tyler Shook, who's going to be starting right now. Let me just have a look at waiver wire. Okay, yeah, Trey Lance. I was gonna say you should definitely pick up this belt. the Sanders of the world and just wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy has a lot of quarterbacks. My goodness. Yeah, these guys have like 7. I'm looking at the league, and these guys have so many quarterbacks. Ross is crazy.
Yeah. Makes
But
sense.
that's all it for admin.
Yeah. I think we're gonna try and take the route of using the picks you have in 26, those thirds and fourths, to add a name or two at running back, if we can. So can we combine 2 26 thirds? You know, I'm not gonna look at specific teams because you don't have much to offer outside of the picks. And can those 2 thirds like get you a DeAndre Swift, for example? You know what I mean? I don't think you get more than. I don't think you can get Swift for a single third. Can you do it for Brian Robinson? Even though I don't like Brian, I want to sell him in most leagues. But in your scenario, Isaiah Pacheco. You know, Trey Benson. I think I would do that for Trey Benson too. Aaron Jones. I don't know.
I would do 1/3 for Aaron Jones.
Yeah. Third for Aaron Jones. A third for Jordan Mason. Third for.
You can take a shot on like a Javonte if you want.
Javonte Williams, yeah. Yeah, can you send 2/3 for ETN? It's not a bad option either.
Yeah, it kind of has to be somebody that has a role.
Yeah.
Because like you don't want to send a third and then get like a Jalen Wright because you don't know what that role's going, or like a Isaac Rendo. That might be a little bit more difficult.
You have to be able to project something early on.
Yeah, it doesn't help the situation.
This guy's Javonte is his RB4, so maybe he'd be interested. We talked about that. Would you?
Says the other team's thirds and second and 2 fourths that I have are going to be early. Yeah, that's fine.
Then you can negotiate a little bit differently if you think you can send it for only a single third. But
so that's what I would do. I would try and get the Aaron Jones for a single third, or Javonte Williams for a single third, and then maybe utilize your 2/3 for a wide receiver potentially.
I'm just thinking in our leagues, I just don't see people selling those guys for thirds. But like you said, if it's more valuable in your league, maybe that's possible. Do what Badaki's saying. You know the pulse of your league a little bit better. But ideally, even if we just get one of these deals done,
that helps you.
Yeah,
that helps you significantly. I would also say the same thing for the wide receiver position. Like you said, if you can get Aaron Jones or Javonte for 1/3, can I go out and get a? When it comes to the wide receiver position and a third, it makes it. But I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is like a Debo.
Yeah.
A Stephon Diggs. Jawan Jennings was probably a perfect one, but he might be holding out.
Yeah.
Those are probably the only names that I can throw out right now that you can get a third for.
And
you can't get.
Some people yelled at me in a video and told me you can't get Diggs for a third in any league. I know it's possible in some leagues though, so just depends if your league is the league where it's possible or not.
Yeah.
He says maybe a deal with the Swift owner, which I definitely think that could work in your favor.
Let's have a look at the Swift owner. Yeah, I think so.
If you can get like Swift. What if you could get Swift and Strange? Would you send like a 26 third and a 27 second or no? I don't know. I think in an ideal world, you're just sending the picks for Swift, but if you need to get creative, you're certainly not attacking wide receiver from that team in a trade.
No, I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Gosh, and the wide receiver is so fair. But
I think that is the plan. That's the game plan for you, for this team moving forward. Want to leave the you don't have any seconds even in 2027? Okay, then let's just say like the 27th third then. And if you have to add like a fourth on top of that in 26 or something. But let us know if you have any questions, Ron. If there's anything that we didn't answer well enough in detail, I want to make sure you feel good about the review. But as you know, you know how to get your team playbook when it's ready to go. But as I'm waiting on that, LT Gray says, gotta ask a real heavy hitting question, boys. Where does future wide receiver 1 Justin Ross land? Someone said a Chick-fil-A drive-thru.
Oh yeah, I'm keen for Chick-fil-A.
Rest in peace, Justin Ross hype. We do love us some Justin Ross, LT Gray.
I mean, I was getting screamed at saying, said I don't know football about Justin Ross. But what's that?
Now, didn't we make a bet with someone that we were like, let's make a bet that he doesn't even have 100 receiving yards? I can't remember. It was like prime hype.
Someone was really in. Someone was like, no, I guarantee you Justin Ross is going to be on the field.
Yeah.
Like they were so adamant that like he will fill the spot. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Ron says, there's someone that you would tear down from on my team, not your quarterbacks. Your quarterbacks don't have tear down power. You could tear down from Genty, but that's not fun. I'd rather fix it through picks instead. And you could tear down from CD, but again, I'd rather like Band-Aid your issues than tear down from these players personally.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, we appreciate you, Rowan. Thanks for all your hard work with what's coming tomorrow, the announcement tomorrow. And Badaki will have this playbook out for you here soon, man. We're going to move on to Gavin Andres. Is Gavin with us in the chat?
Yeah, let us know if you are here. If not, that's all good. You'll be getting a time code with this playbook. Gavin is next up here.
Gavin's here.
Oh, Gavin is here. Hey, the whole crew is here for team reviews. I know you'd love to see it. I don't think we had one today without the team reviews. Okay, 2 quarterback, 12 teams, start 9. Let's get through this. Start chugging through. We got some stuff that we need to get through. So let's get through some of these team playbooks nice and efficiently. He says, wanted to explore moves to put me ahead. Paid a hefty price to go for B-Rob to Brees. Bijan Robinson to Brees.
Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson, excuse me. But don't feel quite over the hump. I do have all my 28 picks. Every team has 8 taxi spots, so waiver wires are shallow.
See, that's just waiver wire is pointless, and that sucks.
Okay, so you're currently ranked 3rd out of 12.
Yep.
And once again, this is middle ground here. So let's have a look at your team.
Superflex.
Been
excited for a playbook since the startup, Gavin says. So we're excited that you're here, man. Excited to have a look at the squad.
You. Thank you so much for the support, brother. Which is awesome. At the quarterback position, you have Drake May, Kyler Murray, Tua attacks, Justin Fields, good quarterback room, a lot of depth, a lot of guys you can potentially utilize to sell. At the running back position, Breece Hall, Chase Brown, James Conner, which is a really good 3. And obviously Tajay Spears waiting in the wings. You can start up to 4 wide receivers, and you're starting 4 Jefferson, Higgins, and Buka Burden. So a little bit short at the wide receiver position of true starters. You can put Darnell Mooney there if you wanted to. Then you're still short at that wide receiver position. And then Trey McBride at that tight end position there as well. Going straight to some admin.
I was going to say quickly, the good news is it's only a start 9 and super flex. So that's really not that hard to field a lineup, right? If we look at that real quick, that is 7 there. You only have to, so then what, Connor is 8, Igbuka is 9, or if Igbuka, if not Igbuka, Mooney, Noel, Burden, someone, Ertz. I think you've got a pretty good team already, and your depth isn't as important as it would be if it was a 1 quarterback start 9, for example. Like, you've got a lot of startable names here. Sorry, continue. Untouchables, who do we think here? Jefferson, McBride?
Yeah, Jefferson, McBride here. Holds, Kendre Miller, Luther Burden, Ben Sinnott, and Emeka Mbuka, if we wanted to put him in there. And drops, you can drop names like Justice Hill, Jalen Lane are the 2 guys that I'll be dropping, or Chika Conquo, you can drop there as well.
Jay's getting some love right now. I don't know if you've seen it. He's getting some love.
Unless you want to hold to see what Cam Ward is going to be there. So Jalen Lane, Justice Hill are the two guys we are happy to drop. Um, Draft capital, I would say maybe that'd be minus C plus because you don't have your first in 26, but you do have it in 27. Overall team grade, from my perspective, I think this is a really good team. I think this is kind of like a B plus team.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah,
I'd say
a B plus team, and then I would also say you're a contender as well, at least in my eyes.
Yeah, even Windows open. I think we can keep Windows open here without his
True.
picks in 26. No reason not to contend with a roster like this. Let's go to the chalkboard here. So you had a draft, and I give you a grade of B. It's a good draft. You only had one first-round pick, which you did well with there with Igbuka. Love that you got Burden. He's one of my favorite picks in rookie drafts this year, and typically he goes in the second round, and that's where you get the value when you take him in the second round. Love Jalen Knoll as well, my guy in this year's class. Your waiver wire is actually kind of stacked. You know, you mentioned your waiver wire's 8 taxi spots. I don't know, man. This is one of the more active waiver wires I've seen. So I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but is Trevor Etienne, AJ Barner, Mostert, Sanders, are these guys all actually on the waiver wire? The reason I ask that is because I love Elijah Arroyo, but Barner could be the starter.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
For Raheem Mostert, he's the number 2 behind Genty. If anything happens to Genty, he's a startable name maybe. Sanders maybe could win the role there in Dallas. Trevor Etienne's a 4th round pick. He should be rostered in every league. He says it was a dynasty startup, so it wasn't a rookie draft. Yes, all those are on waivers. So, yeah, I mean, Trevor Etienne would probably be the most important name for me if I'm going to rank them. Then I think it's just a tie between all these names. I might put Franklin last, especially if you're trying to compete this year. Like Miles and Mostert are really good handcuffs. And who's your tight end? McBride. So you don't really need AJ, but he's worth rostering. And ideally, you do some sort of like 2-for-1 where you move like Fields or Tua plus Tajay for a running back or a wide receiver to fill out this lineup, and then you have more space. But like Badaki said, if you need to drop like Jalen Lane, maybe Justice Hill to clear up some of those names, and then maybe if you do a 2-for-1, you clear up some more space to go hit the waiver wire again. And then I'm assuming Dante Thornton was drafted, but if he is available, he would probably be my number 2 option. And then the rest would be kind of close. So your waiver is actually pretty active. I'm not going to lie. So let's find a team that needs quarterback help. Thornton's in your taxi. Okay, great. Let's find a team that needs quarterback help, and let's see if we can kind of find our way. This was just the start of this year. Is that right? So I think we could sell either Tua or Fields, or yeah, let's go that way. If we can sell either Tua tags or Justin Fields, one of these names. I actually think Fields is going to be way easier to sell right now. So let's try and find some quarterback needed teams. For example, the guy who has Will Levis as his quarterback 2. Yeah, I'd say that guy's quarterback needy. So, can we land ourselves a Derrick Henry with this trade? Can we send Justin Fields, or can we send Tua tags away? For Derrick Henry, I don't think that's far off. Maybe you'd have to send like that 3rd in 26, or like a Taj Brooks, a Ben Sinnott, like one of these names you might have to throw in. If you can't do this straight up, then can you, do you have to add that 26th 3rd? Do you have to add, Deontay Thornton Jr. is a hype name right now. You said you have your taxi. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that name at the bottom of your roster that gets this done? I don't really want it to be Coker, but like Zach Ertz. I don't know. I don't think that's far off. I think Fields is more valuable than Henry, though, so I wouldn't do this for Fields, but just exploring all options. I don't think you're a Saquon candidate. How about the guy who has Darnold and Ward? Yeah, this could work. This could work. I would love to end up with like a Jonathan Taylor. Could you do like a Connor Tua? I'd even be down to do that if it was Fields. Justin Fields and James Conner for Jonathan Taylor. Not opposed to that idea. And then maybe he throws you back like what? Cup. Likely, you know, one of these names if you Jerome Ford, if you want to add. Not opposed to that idea. You could also go like the Tua Montgomery angle. I just don't want to buy Montgomery right now, if I'm honest with you. Let's keep looking. This guy has Love, Stroud, Cousins. He has CMC. I actually don't think that Fields and CMC are that far off in value. So I think Fields for CMC could work out for you as well. That could be a win-win for both of you guys. The guy who has Dart as his quarterback too might be interested in a deal. He has Ken Walker. Can we do a like Fields plus something for Ken Walker? What would that plus be? That's a good question. Braylon Allen, Mooney, something along those lines.
You can't give up Mooney.
Yeah, Braylon Allen maybe. Tajay Spears is getting a lot of hype right now. Maybe Tajay works. He says CMC is hard because the guy's a Niners fan. That's fair. Not everything's going to be possible for sure. James Cook, perfect. I actually think in a lot of leagues you could get James Cook straight up for Justin Fields. Truly. Right now I think that is possible in a lot of leagues. So that's something I'd explore. Would you do like Tua for like a Ricky?
Tua
like
straight up for Ricky? Yeah, I would.
Pearsall maybe, something like that, you know? It's going to get harder the further we go up because people have less to work with and they don't need quarterbacks. But I would even do like Tua for George Pickens. You're not a big George Pickens guy. Would you do that? I would, but I'm just double checking if different opinions might change.
I mean, look, it's a tough one. I would rather be in a different range than George Pickens.
Okay. Team 5 would have been great, but unfortunately they don't have anyone to meet value. I don't think they're going to give up Caleb Johnson. Yeah. And then really you lose leverage the further you go up here. This could be a great time to pounce on Judkins, though. Like Tua tags for Quinshon Judkins or something.
Yeah, that can work.
Or even like grabbing Swift and Higgins or something, like, or going for Waddle, going like, would you do Tua plus Darnell Mooney for Waddle and something, like, let's say, what are they? I mean, maybe you add a pick, like do a pick swap, so you get Waddle in a second here. You send Tua tags Mooney in a third. You know, something like that.
Sure. You can do pick swap. I mean, I'll be okay to I'd rather have the second. I'll say I'll be okay to take a chance on Harris or Calvin, but I think I'd rather have the second over those guys. Specifically Calvin.
Yeah. But that's kind of the game plan I would have. I think you're in a pretty favorable position there. And if no one is going to give you fair value for a quarterback, you can hold. The last 2 years have told us if you have quarterbacks in season, you can make deals pretty easily. But yeah, even just one of these deals puts you in a better spot. You grab a Henry, a Taylor, a CMC Cook, a Walker. Ideally, it's running back. Actually, either position. Like even if it ends up being the Pickens, the Pearsalls, I think you're in a great spot. You certainly don't need help at quarterback or tight end. So adding one or two at running back or wide receiver is going to give you that flexibility at the flex spot that you need to compete this year. So Gavin,
Yeah, man,
please
we
let us know if
appreciate
there's
you.
anything we didn't cover well enough, my friend. I want to make sure you feel really good about the playbook that you're about to get.
Yeah, jump in at any point in time, obviously. Any last minute questions, but you should be receiving your playbook in the Flock Fantasy Message System, customized to everything that we drew up here for you today, man. But thank you so much for the support.
And by the way, the message system just means like where your review tab is, my reviews, on the my reviews tab, there's just like a message bank on your review, if that makes sense. So we appreciate you big time, my friend. He says, appreciate the ideas. We appreciate you, man. What's up, pancakes and waffles? You're going to do another mock this week on the redraft channel. Fantasyland football we will, but we probably won't do another Dynasty mock draft this week in particular. All right. Let's refresh here. I think we have a trade question I'll quickly get to from Pinky and the Brian. What's up, man? Tight end premium is extra 0.5 PPR on top of normal 0.5 PPR. So,
right.
So it's
just a
half
full point
PPR.
premium. Plus, it's a half PPR plus a 0.5, which just means it's a full point premium on tight ends, right?
The way I'm reading it is there's a 0.5 premium on tight ends. But I'm confused because it says PPR down below.
Yeah, tight end is extra 0.5 PPR on top of the normal 0.5.
Well, there's a tight end premium. All right.
This is a tight end premium.
He's sending away Mahomes and Kincaid for Nix and Laporta. And I don't know if you see my rankings here, Pinky and the Brian. But you'll see I have Nix ranked ahead of Mahomes. I know that's not where everyone stands. I don't care if you have Mahomes ahead of him. They're all in the same tier for me. But I basically view this as going from Kincaid to Laporta, so it's a no-brainer yes for me. But I don't know where you stand. Yeah?
No, I'm there with you just because I'm a lot more confident in Sam Laporta having a better bounce back year coming into this year, and yes, I have Bo Nix really close with Patrick Mahomes, so.
In some leagues, maybe you can get more on top of this. You know, like if people still view Mahomes as like an elite asset in your league, I mean, shoot, can you send? Let's see. Can you send a Kyron and come back with a Bucky? You know, on top, just another slight little upgrade long term. At wide receiver, can you land Rice if you send Olave, for example? You know.
Yeah.
Like, what are there other little upgrades you can make? You might test it, but overall, I'm still happy with the original deal as well. All right, let's go to Jeb. Again, great time to get your team reviewed here today on stream. Appreciate everybody who has been signing up, showing some love, and getting their teams reviewed. We obviously enjoy reviewing them for you. You can check out the pinned comment. You can either become an annual member with Mother Flocker status. You'll get a voucher where you can get a team playbook, or you can purchase one through the Flock store, no matter what promo code you're on. But let's go to Jeb here, who's next.
My name's Jeb. Let's jump in, Jeb. We know the deal, okay? We appreciate you. I'm pretty sure you're here. You said drafted out of the 11th slot, started CD Amon-Ra, JSN. Let's hear it, guys. Silence of the Lamb. This is a 2-quarterback, 12-team start 11. So that's a rolling deep. I'll put that here in the chat.
Yep, it's a big old
for
lineup.
you guys. Big old lineup here. Okay, quarterback position, Baker Mayfield, and that's it. I think it's a good quarterback room. That QB3 is something that we would need to get. Kenneth Walker, Caleb Johnson, Zach Charbonnet, Isaiah Pacheco, Jordan Mason. The list goes on. I think there's a good running back room with some good vets and young pieces there with Caleb Johnson. At the wide receiver position, you can start up to 6 wide receivers. This is your starting 6: Lamb, Brown, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Stephon Diggs, really no one else to speak of there. So you're a little bit short, but you do cater that at the running back position with Dalton Kincaid and Cade Otton.
The fall-offs are hard at almost every position. You know, like the drops at where these guys, like,
especially needing a start 11.
Yeah, from Diggs, 11, you know? from JSN to Diggs, 40 spots in my rankings. From Diggs to Marvin, 24 spots. Same with like Baker to your quarterback 2 or quarterback 3. So it's interesting. But anyway.
Untouchables, CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown at the moment. Holds, I would say Zach Charbonnet, Caleb Johnson, Jordan Mason can be thrown in there as well with I would also say like to hold Dalton Kincaid just to see what he's going to end up doing. Drops. It's probably no drops right now. I mean, if you wanted to make space, I would be okay dropping DeAndre Hopkins or Damian Martinez, or excuse me, a Joe Flacco. I'd rather drop.
There's no one
Joe
really on
Flacco
waiver
over
wires,
Damian.
so you might as well hold, to be honest, most of this
You
time.
might as well just hold to those guys. I mean, for me, like I always say, Luke Brave. I'm happy to pick him up. Just to wait and see what that tight end position looks like in Green Bay. But other than that, that is about it for the admin outside of draft capital. Draft capital, I would just say maybe B minus. I would just say B flat. Actually, not that big of a deal. You don't have your 426. Overall team grade, I would also say the drop off is real. I'm at like a C plus, B minus type of range.
I think that's harsh. I think B minus for sure. I mean,
Okay.
he's got a lot of startable names. So Love, Mayfield,
Yes.
Walker, Johnson, CD, Amon-Ra, Kincaid. And then he would have to start 4 more names. JSN, Diggs, Pacheco, Jones. Still has Mason and Charbonnet there. But yeah, it's not the best team. But I think because it's start 11, he has a pretty decent amount of depth. I'm just considering that. But obviously not quarterback. So yeah, I think B minus is probably fair. With this team, I'm kind of like leaning on competing, but ready to flip it pretty quickly if things go south. Where did you stand on it?
Yeah, I would agree. I'm in the same position.
So we're gonna go contend, but ready to flip it should we need to. Is there any other admin that we haven't done?
No, that's it.
So again, we'll play 2 scenarios. So contend, which, you start off like 5-2 or something, right? And then you're a seller, if you don't start off well, you have plenty of names that you can kind of move off of. And as a contender, I don't know that I'm actively buying anyone though. Like I still don't view you as like a favorite or something where you're going all in with your 2026 first round pick. But let's just more focus today on the idea of if you were to kind of pack it in season. So like the Isaiah Pacheco's, we'd be looking to sell in season. The Stephon Diggs.
I would say Aaron Jones.
Yeah, Aaron Jones. Just tell me the names there. I'm not, while we go. Aaron Jones.
Honestly, those are probably it.
Is that it?
Yeah, I want to keep. I guess you can do Kenneth Walker as well.
Yep.
So yeah, Kenneth Walker, Pacheco, Jones. I will also throw Jordan Mason in that if need be, and then Stephon Diggs.
Yep.
But
that's a good group.
That's about it.
So for Pacheco, I mean, you're looking for like an early second if he recovers form, if not a first from certain teams. I think the same thing can be said for Stephon Diggs. If he has a great season, these are typically like best case scenario. All these guys are really like, that's what you're looking for, a couple early seconds. For Ken Walker, I would say more a future first, assuming he has the same role. But I mean, look, you could go ahead and say, okay, hypothetically, I can go send my second and my first and build out the rest of this roster. I just don't think your roster's in a position to take that kind of risk right now. I think anything's possible in this league. You just finished a startup, if I'm not mistaken, right? So anything's possible. Literally anything, any single one of these teams could win or be the worst team in this league at this point with the way, the disparity is across your league. And I'm not going to tell you to sell Jason, Amon-Ra, or CD. I don't think you need to tear down. I don't think you can dare to tear down at quarterback or running back. And because I think we can contend, I don't see a need to sell Diggs or Jones or Pacheco right now. So a lot of this is kind of holding on a team like this, and that's not uncommon coming out of a startup. But if you are in season and you do decide, what, I do want to go out and contend, then can you land a Kamara? Maybe like you want to go more receiver, like you added Devontae Adams. Is Chris Godwin doing his thing? Is Mike Evans still reliable? These type of names here. Outside of Kamara, like, is James Conner still the clear starter in Arizona? That's kind of the direction. It's not that exciting of a review. I apologize. Just being realistic.
I think what I would do is
Jerry Jeudy, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna target wide receiver. Which you can target running back or wide receiver. It doesn't really matter which one you go. But yeah, you can go Jerry Jeudy. I think of Shakira. I think of Ricky Pearsall. Some people believe in him. Or I'll take another shot on Jaden Reed or Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
You can use your third to go out and get a Michael Pittman if you wanted to.
Yep.
I really like Cortland Sutton as well. So like, there's a bunch of names that you specifically at the wide receiver position using your second or third round pick to kind of give you just a little bit more breathing room, because you have enough depth at running back that you can play around with, to where I'm looking more at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
That's so fair. Adding any of those names. But yeah, like, it is pretty straightforward, straight to the point, but the team is good. I think the other thing I would also nitpick is QB3 in a super flex league. You know,
harder to address QB3, I think, with a second.
It is definitely harder. But you know, whatever that looks like, you know, kind of like what Zach was talking about with Anthony Richardson. Can you go out? I don't know what team can get it, right? Can you go out and get hypothetically Shakira and then go with third to get Anthony Richardson? That's really simple. A simple band-aid fix that you can kind of do, right?
Or just like gives you another body in there.
Yeah, exactly.
But
other than that, it's again straightforward.
Let us know if you have any questions, man. Anything we didn't address here, but we appreciate you big time. And I know this is your Bogo. He says, I don't need it to be exciting. He says, wide receiver depth for everyone's roster is thin. So it's going to be tough to come by. But no harm in sending a pick if, you know. This is why I think people will feel that way across the board in their rosters after a startup. That's why your in season is going to be where the action happens for a league like this that's just begun. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I think week 10, you'll have the most trades in this league than you've had, you know, since it began, coming off the startup. But we appreciate you big time, my friend. And as you know, your playbook's going to be there here very soon. Is Zoinks in the chat with us? Do we have a Zoinks in the chat with us? He just bought a team playbook. We appreciate you, Zoinks.
Zoinks.
Dub G is here, but Dub G is next. I'll just let you guys know, if you do want us to have a look at your Dynasty team, then we have something called the Team Playbook. After we review your team on live stream, you get this beautiful graphic customized to your team. And you can get that by either becoming a promo code LAND annual Mother Flock. Remember, that gives you a voucher that you can use through the Flock store. Or if you're a member of a different promo code or already a member with us and use your voucher, you can go through the Flock store and get a team review from us. And on today's stream, you don't have to make it live. Any team review will do. But we do appreciate anybody who comes out and donates like $100 from WG. That's crazy. We appreciate you big time, my friend. That's a very, very kind donation from you, and excited to have a look at your team. As Jeb says, as always, I greatly appreciate you guys. Always great insight. Thank you, my friend. Zoinks is here. All right, let's WG's in the building. What's up, WG? We appreciate you, man. Let's have a look at his squad.
WG, man. Appreciate you. 2 quarterback, 12 team start, 10. This is our classic middle ground. I'll put that in the chat here. Context here says, have a solid squad. Probably could use tight end upgrade. Can't get Bowers or McBride as they are contenders. Can acquire Kittle for a first, but waiting if I can work a better deal. Do you think, gents, any other recommendations? Currently ranked first out of 12. The Highlanders. Let's have a look at this team here. At the quarterback position, Josh Allen, Michael Penix, Joe Milton. Good. At the running back position, Bijan, Saquon, Monty, and the list goes on. I think that's a good running back room. Wide receivers, you can start up to 5. Malik, CeeDee, DJ, Cooper, and then it falls short a little bit with Tillman and Tank there, with Isaiah Likely and Jake Ferguson. You do have 2 firsts and 26, which is not yours, and a 27 first. This is a really good team. Jumping straight into some admin, of course, Josh Allen, Bijan, Malik Neighbors, CeeDee Lamb are all untouchables. holds, I would say Michael Penix and Isaiah Likely, I would put as holds. And then obviously a bunch of drops like Will Shipley, Adam Thielen, Andre Chivas there. I think this is a good team. This is definitely a contender.
Yeah,
just
I
really
agree.
short at that tight end position.
Well, if we're looking at pathways, I actually think you're more windows
'cause you don't
open
have your
without your first round pick. Yeah. So let's go to our pathways here. I need to set up my stream deck again. It's all messed up, but windows open, I'd say, is where you are. Joshua loves the team. By the way, WG says traded AJ for picks and others, flipped Jordan Love and 2 firsts for Josh Allen. So have very much gone all in, but you still have capital. It's just not yours in 26 specifically. Thinking about your starting lineup: Allen, Penix, Bijan, Saquon, Neighbors, Lamb. Let's just say Ferguson for now. That's 7. Moore makes it 8. Cup makes it 9. Monty makes it 10. Your depth is really, really holding on by a limb there. Even quarterback. I mean, I believe Penix is going to be a decent option. Compared him to Tua a lot in the process pre-draft, but I don't know how reliable he'll be exactly this year. Let's hope so. But I like the team a lot.
Yeah,
What grade were you thinking?
For the team, I'm thinking like a B plus.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of heavy hitters here, but like,
yeah,
I don't think I can give it an A.
Yeah,
A
B plus.
not.
Not with that tight end room and the quarterback 3. Can't be
Yeah.
an A, but it's a pretty solid team. I'm not gonna lie to you. I almost feel like this is a team where maybe we go all in with these picks.
Well, he said he can't get Bowers and McBride. Trey McBride.
I would be open to a Kittle idea, but not like Kittle as the main piece. Like we get Kittle
Yeah, let's see who
in a trade.
has Kittle there. Oh yeah, I mean Kittle's. Yeah.
So
The thing is, there's no one else on his team outside of Marion. You can do Brees. You don't need another running back in that sense, but
I guess
why
you
not,
could help
though?
your flex out. So yeah, it would be like Brees. Yeah, this is a weird team, isn't it?
It is.
Could you do like Terry and Kittle for a first and a second? Something like that.
Terry and George Kittle. He's in a first and a second.
You know?
Oh, see why not?
Something
I
like
still think
that.
that frames. Yeah.
Huh?
I'll say that it's still Kittle's still the main guy there. I would say.
No,
And
I
then
know,
you don't
but
want to-
you're okay. So nobody wants to sell Terry McLaurin for a second, but no one can get a first for him. So I'm trying to find like
Sure.
a way to make the value make sense. But he says Don is a pain to deal with, but it's possible. Don,
Damn it, Don.
they're talking shit about you. No, I'm kidding. Let's keep looking though. Let's keep looking.
What about Sam Laporta? How do you feel about Sam Laporta?
Yeah, I don't mind the idea. I'd like to add a wide receiver. So I want to focus on a team that has a wide receiver we can target, and then
Ooh.
if they
Laporta
happen to
and
have
Rice,
a tight end,
but this is Dynasty though.
nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with that?
No, I'm saying this is Dynasty, so some people may not really take the suspension into account. But like, if you can play off of the suspension, you can potentially get Rice and Laporta.
Yeah, would you just send like your 2 firsts?
Yeah, I would. 2 firsts, or I would also be okay doing like the Jerry Judy's, sending a first and a third for Debo to get Sam. I mean, doesn't really. I would rather do the Rice though.
Yeah, so let's say Rice and Laporta for 2 firsts.
I would even be okay with Zay Flowers there. If I can send Zay Flowers for a second, like the Terry deal, which is probably doubtful, but I'll be okay with those 3.
I don't really want Zay, but I'm understanding where you're coming from for sure. I wouldn't do 2 firsts if it was Zay.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'll do a first and a second, like the Terry deal.
Right.
But I doubt that's possible.
Yeah, that'd be tougher to pull off. The guy who has Brock Bowers also has Mark Andrews. Could you do a... No, I don't like this team. Let's keep looking. How about Hawkinson? What about like Hawkinson Marvin? So let's send 2 26 firsts plus a second for Hawkinson and Marvin. That's my favorite one so far.
These rookies at? Where's Loveland?
It's going to be harder to
Probably
trade
not
for a
doable.
rookie tight end, I think.
But you would just, it can just be straight swap for first though. But I get what you're saying. Like, these guys don't have anyone. It's just,
Yeah.
Tyler Warren has Jonnu Smith and Loveland has Kyle Pitts. You know,
What about Evan Ingram, AJ Brown, or T Higgins? It would be a different price, but like if you could get like AJ Brown and Evan Ingram for a first and a second, something like that, I'm not opposed to. I wouldn't even be opposed to like a T Higgins if we can do 2 seconds or something. It doesn't have to be 26, but just 2 seconds.
yeah, he said
in total.
he traded AJ Brown to that team.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Right.
2 weeks ago. Well, then T Higgins then. Do the T deal.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of makes it more difficult to get a deal done.
I think
Not a
that's
lot of
probably the
tight
main
ends
thing,
we
though.
love.
Like, it's just the tight end position, and you said
The other
you said
option
this
is to
guy's
go
a
cheap with
contender.
it. The other option is go cheap
Yeah.
with it. Like, and you go 26 second for like Njoku, Ingram, you know. Who else? That's the main guys that come to mind for me.
Probably that's probably where I'm at. Let's look at the waiver wires. Is there anyone intriguing there? Oh, classic Luke Musgrave.
He's always available, ready to go.
AJ Barner's there, as well. If
But
you
I
wanted
think-
to take a swing.
Ideal is either like the Kittle, McLaurin. I love the Rice, Laporta, and Hawkinson Marvin deals. Those are my favorite deals. Just quickly, I gave your draft haul for the rookie class a D-. I love Jarquez Hunter. It's just grading the overall haul. You only got one player. I mean, if you look at your entire team, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the only rookie, right? So, I'm not saying your team is your rookies are bad, like Jarquez is bad. It's just I think that's the only rookie, so it's not a big haul. But I do think like Miles Sanders is worth rostering. Raheem Mostert's worth rostering off the waiver wire, especially if you're a contender. Like if Javonte or Ashton Genty go down, those guys will be startable names. Yeah. He says second will be early, I think. Which is understandable. Like, is there a... Do the Evan Ingram teams and David Njoku teams have wide receivers that are interesting? Not like... I was going to say we could send 2 seconds, but I don't want to do, like, Ingram Ridley. Who had Njoku? I don't know, like, Tyreek Njoku for 2 seconds?
Yeah.
If they're going to be early, maybe you get a little more value out of them. Not obsessed with it, but I think those first 2 deals are your ideal outcomes.
See, it was gonna.
Guy wants a first for Tyreek, then that deal's not going to work.
That's crazy, kid. You brazy.
How about
cuz.
Mark Andrews and like DK for a first or something? 26 first plus a 26 second maybe for DK Metcalf and Mark Andrews. I don't love it, but it could work.
Yeah. Don't love it either.
Yeah. What's up, JC? If you submit a team playbook tonight, we can promise that we can get to it, my friend. All right. Any other questions there, WG? Anything we didn't answer? Please let me know.
Yeah, appreciate you. You know the deal. You know how to get your team playbook, man. On the Flock Fantasy Message System.
He's a
custom
veteran
everything that
by
we
now.
drove here for you today. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. We'll give you a couple more seconds. I think the next one we
Says,
have...
nope, good points to start some convos. Appreciate you, man.
Awesome.
Mike, have a good night, my
Awesome,
friend.
man.
Sleep well.
Hey, love, brother.
Make sure whoever's
love.
in your house, make sure someone tucks you in and gives you a nice little kiss goodnight. You know, I never want any of my bros going to night without a kiss.
Maybe you should... Nah, Mike's a gangster. He's from New York.
Nah, man. Everybody deserves to go tonight. A little kiss, you know. Hard day. Got through it. Okay. Let's move on. Calster. Is Calster here?
Hello. Calster, appreciate you. If you are here, that's so good. And if not, you should be receiving your playbook or your time code with this review.
You went into auto draft mode.
I know, right? It's a 2 quarterback 10 team start 9. Our classic meat and potatoes. I'll put that in the chat here. Start 9, hard to up tier much more. Worked hard on this team. Gibbs and Bijan. I can't get worried about guaranteed running back production next year. It's a long season, but I love all of you guys. If on specific trade ideas, sets you apart. HN CD question mark. Just had to trade away this wide receiver core. Any advice? Any point advice? Advance can help.
Comment in the chat as well saying, sup boys, traded Lamar first and sent away Mahomes McCarthy 108. Sold Bowers early last year for insane value and hit decently well with wide receiver and Chase Brown last year. Traded my butt off. Let's have a look at the squad. Currently ranked first.
Oh gosh. Yeah, but if
God
you
damn.
look at this.
Okay. All right.
This could be Thanos here. This could be Thanos. Let's have a look at this.
Well, hold on. How many Thanoses do we have in the history of this? I believe we're at 4 right now. Is that right?
I honestly can't remember.
I believe we're at 4.
It's been so long since the last one.
So that has been...
This is 496.
Yes. So 1% of the time we have had a Thanos. And I feel pretty confident. Oh, I don't know. Is this a Thanos?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. This is meat and potatoes. So this is a start 9. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Bo Nix, great quarterback room. Ashton Genty, Travion Henderson, Chase Brown, Chuba Hubbard, Cam Scatterable, Trey Benson. The list goes on. Great running back room. At the wide receiver position, you can start up to 4 wide receivers. Here's your starting 4: Puka, London, JSN, Ladd, T. Higgins. Still have Roma Dunze with Trey McBride, Tyler Warren. I would say this is a Thanos.
The only reason I asked the question is because the running back room, while stacked with talent, isn't proven yet. There's not a Bijan. There's not a Gibbs, but Genty is there. That's the only reason I asked the question. But to have one, so you have your own first in 26, but then in 27 you have 1, 2, 3 27 firsts. What do we think, chat?
First and 26.
I need to poll the chat here. I'm like on the edge here.
I personally would give it to him just because, sure, Ashton Genty has improved himself, but we're projecting him to be Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson type of value.
That is true.
If this was Bijan Robinson as a rookie, we would be saying this is a Thanos, or maybe not. Yes, Travion Henderson's not there. Trace Brown is. We all believe in what he's gonna do. Same Travion Henderson. So sure, the running back room is not solidified with guaranteed production. But even if Ashton Genty or Travion Henderson doesn't break out, he still has Chase Brown and Chuba Hubbard, who technically have already broken out.
I think the things that are selling me here is when a Dunze's your wide receiver 6, when Bo Nix is your quarterback 3, It's it's hard to argue against the Thanos tag here.
Yeah, I think so. I personally think this is Thanos. And look at the discrepancy when it comes down to the points. 5,300. The next best team. This is the next best team. Okay? Jameer Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, Joe Mixon.
The
Nico,
people are acting right
Marvin,
now, by the way. Sorry,
Pet.
because Steven just said, I logged into my phone on YouTube just to vote yes to Thanos. You guys are on the big screen.
Yeah, no, I personally would say I'm putting Thanos.
You think so?
I made the decision. even if he's not a Thanos, he can go out and trade for a Saquon Barkley type of player and instantly make it a Thanos. He can go out and trade for Devon Achane and make it a Thanos. Like, he can do whatever he wants with the capital and instantly make it. If that's your concern, let's go get Devon. Let's make it. Let's make it Thanos. Let's go get Saquon. Let's make it.
With hundreds of team playbooks submitted this offseason, less than 1% have ever gotten the tag of Thanos. And we are now going to make it just over 1%. You are Thanos. Now officially, of all playbooks ever submitted, 1.008% have ever gotten the Thanos tag. Okay? And you are a part of that elite group.
And I think that's also what's crazy is that he has his own 26 first. And
which
he
is
has
useless.
1, 2, 3 first round picks in 2027. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's use the 26 first.
Well,
go get Go get.
He's already said Gibbs and Bijan aren't available, but you're right. We can go try for Achane. We can go try for Saquon.
We can get Bucky. We can get Saquon. We can get whoever we want here.
The team grade's an A+. Then the
Yeah,
draft capital is an A+.
A+, Thanos. Untouchables, you will have a customized one-off thing. Yeah, Lamar, Joe, Ashton, Puka is all going to be there. You can put McBride. It's pretty straightforward.
Some of the comments are hilarious. You guys are funny. Yeah. So, congratulations first off. I mean, can we all give some respect in the chat to 50 Cal? He says, by the way, watch the videos at the start of the season. Watching you guys actually helps. Just any haters out there, right? So, there might be some hate watchers right now going on. All right, so we've got some love here from the people, but it's a great team. Do we need to talk about anything admin wise? Because the team is stacked across the board. I don't really know exactly.
No, that's it.
What else to talk about?
We go straight into the players that we want to target, and I think that's specifically at the running back position. So there's no questions. There's no ands, if, or buts.
Yeah, your 26 first is useless. But I'm hoping your league doesn't know that. Okay? So what we want to do is we want to go out there and let's look at Achane.
He also has the worst team in the leagues first as well.
Okay, so we want Achane. Can we give...
That's funny.
What about an idea of like getting Achane and Kittle and sending Warren in the deal? Just to... You don't have to do this, but I'm trying to find a way to get there. It's like your 26 first plus Tyler Warren. Is there a premium in this league?
No, there isn't.
Okay. For Achane and Kittle, that might work in some leagues. In other leagues, there are people who value Kittle more than Warren. I don't agree, but you might have to add something else onto that, like I mean, we can use a second and 26 on top. That might not be doable. That's okay. Let's just make things much more simple. Let's go your first plus Chuba Hubbard plus a 26 second. Do you think that might get us to an Achane? Maybe your first plus Chase Brown gets us there. I prefer to keep Chase Brown though.
Yeah, I prefer to keep Chase Brown. Like, I think the way I'm seeing this is like I'm happy to pay a 26 first. Like, I'm happy to just do 2 first and find one. You keep yours first and 27 and send somebody else's. He has like if we're gonna overpay and they're gonna have you overpay, you might as well use somebody else's first. Like you
Well,
might as well just send 2 first-round
my
picks and then keep the players. At least that's my perspective.
I'd rather use his first because I just don't think he's gonna have trouble
Sorry,
starting.
I understand, but I
9.
mean like using the first and 27.
Right.
Are you saying
Okay.
that
Yeah.
as well?
So
Like,
2 future firsts
exactly.
for Devon Achane.
You know, like if we have to overpay, let's just overpay. Like, and
That's not an
we still
overpay,
keep
though.
our first.
You can throw Trey Benson on this team. It's a start 9. I mean, my God. Tyrone Tracy, you can throw in Cam Scattaboo. Any one of those names to get something done. You know?
This HN guy does want Warren.
The HN guy
Yeah, that helps him.
does want Warren. Okay. That'd be great then. This is ideal. That'd be perfect. Let's go on to Saquon. Now, I don't know if you've heard 50 cal, but there's a chance Saquon Barkley regresses this year. He might not rush for 2,000 yards, so I just want to let you know that. You might not have heard anyone in the industry say that yet. Let's get Saquon though. If this guy's realistic with himself, he needs to sell Saquon. This team is dog shit. Running backs are decent though.
If this guy is smart, he will ask for his 27 first back.
True. We want to make this trade and not give him his first though.
Not give him his,
because it's accomplishing 2 things at once. So
exactly.
let's try and get Saquon. What do we think? Like,
He's not smart.
no.
No.
What if we give him?
This guy's dumb.
What if we do another Warren Andrews swap? I don't want to do that. Should we just make it picks?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
we keep it simple with picks. Like, you have him. You'll be okay to move any picks outside of this American dude and your picks. At least that's the way I'm seeing it. Like Bob Scatamo, where's he at right now? He's ranked 7th. I mean, his team doesn't look too bad. I mean, he has Brock Bowers, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, you just use Bob's, and you're 26 first and get somebody.
Not good, Bob. Yeah. Let's send 2 future first for Saquon. I don't really want to move a Dunze. Like, I want to keep the core of your team together. I just realized this team name is Chlamydia. Ideally, you keep the wide receiver room together, but if you had to use Higgins or a Dunze, would you do some sort of like a Dunze DJ swap? So something like this, the 26 first plus Roma Dunze for Saquon Barkley and DJ Moore, and then you can also send like a second in that or something.
Sure.
I don't want to move a Dunze, but yeah. Is there another running back that we would target? I don't think so. You can't get Bijan, you said. Well, Bucky, actually, yeah.
Yeah, Bucky's the next one.
So, Bucky, this guy could use receiver. Do we go a Dunze in a second or something?
Yeah, that can work.
Well, what about Roman Dunze and like Chuba Hubbard or something for Bucky Irving? And let's say we grab back give us a second back. We'll send you a 4th or something. You could also just send like a first and okay, how about like a first and Scattaboo Tracy?
Your first.
You get both of them.
Scattaboo.
We'll give you both of them.
For who?
For Bucky.
Right, okay. That's fine.
But outside of those names, I don't really see a reason to... Ooh, Hampton. You could do 2 firsts for Hampton as well. Same thing for Saquon. Like, if you were able to send your own first in 26 and then another first in a future year, I think that's a steal. Because your first is going to be late. But, yeah. Congratulations on a freaking monster. Let us know if we didn't answer anything well enough. But you've dominated your entire league. And now you get to reap the rewards for years to come. He says, CD guy is 1-year punt type of team. Is he worth going after if I get Achane or keep wide receiver core? Yeah, I mean, if you can turn like a Dunze in a first into CD or something, I love that. Like Higgins in a first, you know. CD's pretty affordable right now, so I'm definitely not opposed to that idea of either T. Higgins or Roma Dunze. That's not a bad idea either. And again, like, the funny part about this is it's a 10 team, but it's also a start 9 super flex. So depth really, like, I love Trey Benson. He doesn't matter here. You know, at least not yet. If he gets a starting job, who knows? But yeah, 50 Cal, thanks for letting us review the team, and please let us know if there's anything we didn't answer or any questions that you have that we didn't get to. But congratulations on being part of the elite 1%.
Appreciate you, man. You should be receiving your playbook here within 24 to 48 hours on the Flock Fantasy Message System, customized with everything that we drew up here for you today. Congratulations. You get a customized Thanos playbook, which is awesome. So stay tuned for that. Okay, I think Zoinks.
Is Zoinks our last one tonight? I think he is our last. Is that right? Let me see.
I think that we have one more, actually.
Oh, do we?
Cave. I'm just refreshing. Caveman Doc is probably the last one, actually.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Oh, we just got a trade question, though. Let's answer the trade question real fast.
Okay, yeah.
Modest Mouse, who looks like they sent away they're asking if they should send away a first, a third, and a second for Neighbors. Yes, absolutely.
100%.
This is the cheapest I've ever seen Malik Neighbors. This is as cheap as he was last year when you had to trade for him after a rookie draft last year. I don't think you might not be able to trade for him for this price last year before he blew up as a rookie season, you know?
Yeah.
So this is an easy yes to Malik Neighbors side, not even close.
Appreciate you, though.
Yes, we do.
Okay, let's have a look at Blink's team. He says, I feel like I'm in an advantageous position with my mix of youth and production, but I'm always looking to make some tweaks. Appreciate y'all. 2 quarterback, 12 team start, 10, which is our classic middle grounds here. You currently ranked. Sticky Ickies is your team name. You're currently ranked first out of 12. Let's have a look at this team. Justin Herbert, Brock Purdy, Jalen Milroe, and the list goes on. There are a lot of quarterbacks. I think Herbert and Purdy are great. Jameer Gibbs, Travion, Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne. Good running back room as well. At the wide receiver position, you can start up to 5 wide receivers. Leak, London, McMillan, Olave, Golden, and Godwin. Michael Pittman is also in the wings there with Trey McBride and David Njoku. And I can kind of see where you're getting at there. You don't have your first in 2026, so it kind of automatically puts you in that window's open. Untouchables are Jameer Gibbs, Malik Neighbors. Holds, I would say, for me, holds off the bat, Chris Olave, Matthew Golden. I would also put names like a Travis Etienne to wait and see what he's going to do. Ben Sinnott. Those are my holds. And players you can drop, Ty Felton. You can drop Malik Willis, and I would also personally say Cedric Tillman. That's where I would be going. That's where I'm at the moment. Once again, this automatically puts you open.
Sorry, I'm listening. I'm also just talking to our developers real fast.
No, no. Said it's the wrong team up.
Is it? Yeah, it is.
No, JC's. Oh, for you. What you were doing.
I'm sorry. It is the wrong
Okay.
team. You were on Zoinks, right?
Yeah, I was on Zoinks.
I apologize. I was trying to get a little thing submitted to our devs. Go ahead and
that's
reread
okay.
the team. I apologize. We're back. We're here.
Yeah. So Herbert, Brock Purdy, Jalen Milroe at the quarterback position, which is fine. Jahmyr Gibbs, Travion, Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne at the running back position, which is great. At the wide receiver position, Malik, London, T Mac, Olave, Golden, Godwin, Pittman with Trey McBride, and David Njoku. Once again, that automatically puts you into that Windows Open category. Holds are Jahmyr Gibbs and Malik. Our untouchables are Jahmyr Gibbs and Malik Neighbors. I said for holds, I said Travis Etienne. I also think we should hold names like Chris Olave. Chris Olave here. I also said Ben Sinnott. And I also said, who else did I say? I forgot. I think it was Matthew Golden. I said.
And one hell of a team.
Yeah.
One hell of a team. Sorry.
You can drop names like Malik Willis. Malik Willis and then Ty Felton. That's what I would say.
So, like a combo of Herbert, Purdy, Gibbs, Henderson, Neighbors, London, McBride as your start 7. Then the other 3 you have to start between McMillan, Jacobs, Olave, and then, someone's going to be on your bench, but you still got Etienne and Golden and Godwin and Pittman and Coleman and Joku. This team is nice, man. This team is great. In such a good position. I don't see a single weakness on this team outside of quarterback 3. Which I think we can figure out. We have enough depth to, or even just picks. I think you can maybe patch it up with a pick. He doesn't have his first this year. So I think we're going to go Windows Open for Pathway, if you're cool with that.
Yeah.
And then overall team grade, I would probably say like A minus. A, it's close. Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
What did you do in your rookie draft? So you ended up with Henderson. You grabbed Woody Marks, Brashard Smith, T-Mac, Golden. You had a pretty successful rookie draft here, actually. Gadsden late on. It's a nice class there that you put together. Sorry, is there anything admin that we haven't done?
That's everything.
That's everything?
Yeah.
Do you agree quarterback 3 might be the biggest need for this team? Outside of that, we're kind of chilling.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so looking at your rookie draft from this most recent season, to have Henderson and T-Mac and Golden, I mean, that's a pretty nice class. I'm going to rank that around A minus. Really good haul, especially for a team that was already stacked but had slight needs at RB in case Jacobs or Etienne can't fit the bill much longer. I don't think anyone on waivers is really standing out to me. I imagine Thornton is already there, but Raheem Mostert, if you're going to compete, I know it sounds silly, but he's right behind Genty, so. Okay. Shall we try and fix quarterback 3? By the way, Zoink says my best player, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, is also on the squad, taxi squad, I assume. WG says, made a 26-second for Njoku deal. Thanks, gents. No need to figure out quarterback 3. Your help is appreciated. Appreciate you, WG.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's have a look here. And I think we can use a second in this deal as well to figure out a quarterback. I don't think we need to use a first. Certainly not going to use a 27 first, but in an ideal world, you can get like a Justin Fields. Let's say you send a second, a third, and a fourth or something. I don't think most people are going to sell him that cheap, but that would be like a starting point for Justin Fields. If you can't get him for that cheap, would you be opposed to 2 seconds for him?
No.
So that's another option. Now you can go the cheaper route here where there are options where you're guaranteed to get a quarterback for a second. Like, for example, Geno Smith comes to mind. Sam Darnold comes to mind. I know Badaki's not a big fan of Sam Darnold. But he is
has
cheap,
Jalen
and you have
Milroe,
Jalen
so
Milroe.
yeah, I would be okay doing a deal like that because of Milroe.
The other names that come to mind for a second, probably like Tua. Sorry, these are just 1 second. I don't know why. Just 1 second, not two for those names. But yeah, like Tua tags you could potentially look at. Yeah, beyond that, I don't think anyone's worth it. But like a third, you could try and send like a third for A-Rich as well if you wanted to. You could try and do the same thing for a Matthew Stafford. You know, his expiry date is surely set to spoil soon. In an ideal world, you don't have to really use a name here to... you don't have to move a name here, but we could also try and find a tight end needy team and use Njoku. Oh, it's a tight end premium. Do we want to move Njoku? What do you think about like Njoku in a second?
I think if it's a tight end premium, you can potentially get a little bit more what you're at the quarterback position, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. He says, I got Danny Dimes and A-Rod as stopgaps as well. Oh, you have them on your team? Yeah, that's right. Look, I would prefer to have like a Justin Fields, but I guess that probably removes like Geno and Darnold as options. I still think Richardson's available there as an option for you, but definitely makes it less needy. But you could also try and do what if we did like Njoku and Rodgers instead of that second. So Aaron Rodgers and David Njoku. I wonder if there's a tight end needy team out there that we could sell this to. The guy who has Gesicki, we can't get Knicks, unfortunately. But the guy who has Evan Ingram, what about like a Goff? Maybe Jared Goff in the tight end premium. That's probably stretching it. The guy who has Mason Taylor has Tua Bryce Young. Would you do this for Bryce Young?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that one's a little more risk, but Tucker Kraft, this guy has. He's got Justin Fields. Limited options for sure. Dak Prescott would be great. Dak Prescott would be perfect, actually. He might be your best bet. You don't have to make a move like this if you don't want to either. Keep that in mind. And full transparency, I don't think you really have to make a move at all with this team. You could run this team into this year or next year and probably be fine. You there?
Yeah, sorry. Ellen's just trying to figure out something with Brooklyn.
Oh, that's okay.
So she's just texting me.
That's all right.
I would agree. Look, at the quarterback position, I think these are like, especially using Njoku in the tight end premium league, you not necessarily having to have him. I would personally keep like my main thing was I would just keep, Njoku and see if I can get Sam Darnold for a second because you have Jalen Milroe. That's the only reason why I would say that. You know?
Yeah. But honestly, you don't need to make a single move here. I mean, I guess the other moves that you could consider is like some consolidation here. Like, for example, if you wanted to package like a Godwin with a Jacobs and you wanted to tier up. If you wanted to package like Godwin with a Olave, if you're concerned about Chris Olave, you know, that's the other route you could take here. But sometimes depth is your best friend as well. I don't think you need to make a single move. Just trying to give you some ideas of different moves that you could explore. So, you know, you would go to, who does he have? He has London already, right?
Yeah.
So Godwin and Olave, can that get us to a Marvin, a JSN? You know, can that get us to a Nico Collins? Maybe. But you're the best team in your league for a reason. And full transparency, you can probably just keep this team, run it into the season, and have a very good. You're 100% making the playoffs, even if injuries happen. But I think you have a chance to even win the whole thing with the team as it's currently constructed. But Zoinks, please let us know if you have any questions, if there's anything we didn't answer in depth enough, or we're here to answer some questions.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the support. You should be receiving your playbook. You've gotten one before. You know how to receive your playbook on the Flawed Fantasy message system within 24 to 48 hours with everything that we have drawn up and customized for you here today. But appreciate you, man.
Yes, appreciate you big time. And I will wait for your question if you have any final questions there. But he says, all good over here. Might dangle Njoku out there and see what happens. Can't hurt. Can't hurt at all.
Yeah.
Especially in a tight end premium. But we appreciate you, man. All right. Caveman Doc. Is Caveman Doc in the building with us? Are you here, Caveman?
The last one of the day, I think.
I think this is the last one of the day. And then keep in mind that if anybody out there wants a team playbook, you're going to be at the top of our queue after this point, okay? It's a customized game plan for your offseason. We say it all the time, but we review your team and you get this beautiful, magnificent graphic on how to execute the game plan. You can get that by becoming a promo code LAND, annual Mother Flock member. That gives you a voucher that you can use, or you can go to the Flock store and just click team review as well and purchase one a la carte, even if you're not a member, or even if you are a member and you want another team review. So you can check that out in the pinned comment of the chat. And JC's here. He says, I'm Cave. What's up, JC? Let's get to this thing. He says, back for the lulz. Cheers, boys. Let's have a look at the squad. Looks like he is the top-ranked team here in a Superflex 10-team start 10.
Okay.
What is that again?
Let's have a look. That is our classic middle ground there. I'll put that in the chat. Okay. Currently ranked first, like Zach said. The context. He's back for the loss. Okay, let's have a look at this team. Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, Daniel Jones, good quarterback room. Definitely like that. Omarion Hampton, Quinshon Judkins with Mason. So you got some two young running backs there with Tank and Travis Etienne, which is good. At the wide receiver, you can start to 5 wide. BTJ, T-Mac, Rome, Jameson Williams are your starting 5. So a little bit short at the wide receiver position, but that's okay. With, Sam Laporta, Kyle Pitts, and you don't have your first in 2026. You have so many JP tiers, who is currently ranked 6th. So going through some admin stuff, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas are going to be your untouchables. Your holds, I would say Michael Penix and Roma Dunze is going to be a hold for us right now. I would also put names like Quinshon Judkins.
Yeah, Judkins is a strong hold. Yeah.
Just because of the situation that he's in right now, and then Mason is going to be a hold as well. So your drops, really low drops. Maybe Malik Willis you can drop.
Yeah, I would drop because I'm looking at his waiver wire. A lot of great options here. I would drop Willis for sure. I would drop Wiley, Komet. I know not a lot of people agree with me on that, but I would personally be dropping those guys because Jordan James is available, DJ Giddens is available, Taj Brooks, Rashawn Johnson. These guys should not be on waiver wires, even in 10-team leagues. So that's the first action. I would say, like, DJ Giddens and Jordan James, they've got to be rostered. And you make yourself that team that rosters them for free. And who knows? I mean, if Jonathan Taylor tore his ACL today in practice, DJ Giddens, everyone's talking about him. So there's no way you should be one injury away. A running back that is one injury away from relevancy is on the waiver wire. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Continue on the rest.
Draft capital. You have someone else's first and someone else's first in 2027. I'm gonna put that just as a B- when it comes down to our overall team grade. I would also just put you maybe at a B flat. I'm neither here or there with the team. Like, you have really good pieces. You can compete. But there's definitely a little bit of question marks and some holes for sure. Just purely based off of, okay, what's going to happen with Quinshon?
I kind of lean more of a a B plus personally.
That's fine.
Just that combo of like Daniels, Hampton, Judkins, Neighbors, Thomas, T-Mac, Adunze, Laporta. That's strong. You know?
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
I also think the depth at running back is pretty good, even though it's not like top end guys, but Mason, Bigsby, Etienne, any one of those guys could be a potential useful name. So I'm gonna lean B plus if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. We could put B plus, B minus for draft capital and contender there.
Windows open, I'd say, because he doesn't have his own picks.
Windows open.
So
you still as a contender.
Yeah. So with that in mind, without your own picks, and now with the Judkins news, we don't know what that's going to look like. There's a good chance with his situation that he's on the exempt list. And then what typically happens is however many games they plan to suspend him, they would take that off. So like if he missed like 4 games on the exempt list, but they want to suspend him for 6, he probably ends up another 2, either this year or next year. It might be confusing, it might be weird, but you might need to just send that first for a running back. I think that's really your area of need. And then with Daniel Jones at quarterback 3, if he wins the job, you might not need to take action. So I'd say running back is more of a need than quarterback, even though I'd like the quarterback 3 to be better. He says, just picked up Giddens like you recommended. Thanks. I do have a first still next year, but as you said, not my own. Yeah. And I would even pick up like Jordan James too, if you can make room for him, and drop like a Jared Wiley or Komet or someone with Malik Willis or like any of those options. But I'm glad you're able to pick him up already. So with that in mind, shall we shop our own first? Or the first we have, sorry. The first that we have.
The first we have, yes.
The first that we have isn't from a team that looks bad, is it? Let me just double check.
Yeah, I'm trying. So many. He's ranked 6th here, so
yeah.
He has Ash and Genty. It's kind of in the middle. I would say this will be more like a mid to late first. I would say.
Yeah, with Adams there. Yeah, I think you could fill the team. Like the quarterback room is pretty decent. Gibbs Genty's going to be a powerhouse. I think he probably is like mid first. So we're okay to move on from that. It's not like a clearly terrible team or anything. Okay, so I just want to quickly go over your rookie draft. I think you had a great draft, landing Hampton Judkins, which you desperately needed. Look at the running back room before the draft. It was Mason, Bigsby, Etienne. So you desperately needed that little infusion. You also added Tet McMillan as well to an already established wide receiver room, and you got one of my favorite guys in Jalen Knoll. I'm going to give you an A- on your draft grade. And then let's start shopping that first round pick. JC says he's mid in real life too. It's just a middle of the pack guy. Let's have a look. So
in real life, that's crazy.
So this guy just waddling around has so many running backs. So many. I'm just trying to think out loud here. We don't have the facilities to get an HN, I don't think. And we don't want to go too all in because for that quarterback 3 spot. But what about like sending the first for a Jacobs, a Cook?
Yes. I like Josh Jacobs. James Cook is really good. Let's see who else
I would consider there. What if you could do like Henry
plus, you think?
I was thinking like Henry Lawrence and then swap Daniels and figure something else out. So like Derrick Henry plus Trevor Lawrence. We send the 26 first, Daniel Jones, and a second.
Yeah.
Something like that could be really intriguing. Kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, with seeing this guy's running back room, you're probably going to be limited on the amount of teams you can approach. Wow, this guy, so must be 2 people who are just dominating running backs. What about Kamara? Can you send, a second and like Kyle Pitts or something for a Kamara.
Second. Kyle Pitts for Kamara.
You know, kind of just band-aid it rather than send the first, so you still have that asset to play around with.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the route that I like to go.
Yeah.
I like to kind of band-aid it with players that I feel really confident in. And obviously the Joe Mixons of the world, and I'm trying to think the James Connors of the world, the Monty's, James Connors, Derek's.
Outside of those two teams, dude, you don't have another team to approach. Those two teams really, like Team 2 and Team 4, they've kind of got a combined. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 startable running backs.
Kind of want. Yeah, that's crazy.
So those are kind of the guys you need to go to, and they might know they have a monopoly on the position. But yeah, like a Kamara, a Mixon. You said Connor. I think Connor's a fine band-aid as well.
Yeah.
Chuba, we love Chuba Hubbard. If you can get him for like a second and a third or something, that's really ideal for you as well. Or let's say like Kyle Pitts, if that third isn't more attractive than Kyle Pitts. Sad that we're here. But I really like the team. I
like it as well. It's pretty straightforward. Which,
yeah.
Once again, it always sounds terrible when we do a review and it's rather straightforward. This is what you do, but like you put yourself in the position of really well positioned. Yeah, to kind of compete in the way that you built your team here. So this is a great team.
It is a very good team, and I think you're going to be a strong contender this year. Maybe one of these trades could really just propel you over the top. And then the biggest other piece of information I can say is just don't sell Judkins. Just hold on to him. I think, in a year from now, you're going to be grateful that you held him. So
yeah.
Let us know if there's any other questions, JC. We appreciate you big time, my friend. Thanks for the love and the support.
Oh yeah. And obviously you know how to get your team playbook within the Flock Fantasy message system within 24 to 48 hours. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. He says, thanks for your time, boys. We appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you to everybody for their time, because it is currently 11:30 p.m. in New York, and we had a lot of submissions tonight. A lot of people signing up to get the team reviewed, to get a trade question answered, whatever the case may be. So great stream to be a part of. I'm glad you guys were here. I will say it one last time. Our queue is completely empty. So if you are looking to get a team playbook, it's a great time to do so, because you'll be at the top of that queue. But guys, enjoy the rest of your night. We'll be live tomorrow on the Redraft channel, and we'll see you then. Nothing but love.
Love.